welcome to Divekick Infinite. This is going to be an amateur hour. Just set it up today. We've got a tournament for you guys, and it looks like we're going to try to get the first round up on screen. So give us a second here. Arjun, if you want to kind of explain the basics of the game while we're trying to get things set up, that'd be awesome.
The basics of the game. I can get as very simple or as in depth as you would like for me to be. But I mean, I'm sure that anyone who has seen this game before knows that this game is literally a two-button fighter. You have a dive button and you have a kick button. So all forms of movement, attack, maneuvering, footsies, everything is literally just mapped to being able to jump and then kick. Every character in the game has a different angle of approach that they take when they do their dive kick. And every hit is a one-hit kill, which is why every game is generally played to 5 rounds. I mean, I guess I could definitely get very, very specific, but yeah,
Are we
I mean,
live?
Yes.
yes, we are.
All right.
So I mean, if you haven't seen this game before, it looks very silly. It has a lot of very silly things in it, but it's a really, really cool game. The depth might not seem obvious on the surface, but it really only takes I would say even just 15 minutes of gameplay to see that the mind game portion of dive kick happens very quickly. Gameplay evolves quite a lot, even just between two people playing each other for a sufficient amount of time, which is why I love this game so much, and which is why basically everyone that's talking right now loves this game as much as they do. So let's see. Should I practice the dive button or the kick button first?
That's a good question.
Arguably the kick button, because that's the way to actually attack people.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
Okay. So if we're gonna get more into that level of specific, there are actually 2 ways to jump in this game. With the dive button, you actually jump vertically. With the kick button, if you're on the ground, you can only attack if you're in the air because you have to do a dive kick. So when you hit the kick button while you're on the ground, you actually jump backwards. So the only way to actually move forward is to do some kind of a dive kick. So arguably, I would say you could practice the kick button first, because at least you have some kind of semblance of being able to retreat from people or maintaining space. Because really a lot of the simple punishes and ways to actually kind of capitalize on people overextending is to actually be able to retreat and then attack. So if you're going to pick between 2 buttons and then find the way to cheese, I would say that's the one to pick.
Good choice.
Another thing that's worth noting for people that are very new to this game is that there is a meter system. There are special moves, and special moves require meter. And the way that you build meter is by performing dive kicks. So if you are using the kick button to retreat and then performing a dive kick out of that, you're basically able to do kind of like an old school fighting game tactic of just whiffing moves to build meter in a way that's relatively safe because you're not overextending. So that's actually another reason why just doing kick to be able to do that is actually very helpful.
Thank you, Arjun Rosser, for filling in. We've got the first round set up. We got Ober and quantumpotato. I have no graphics yet, but it looks like they're ready to go, so we're going to switch into the stream now.
Okay, sounds good. So, yeah, we got OberKy and quantumpotato.
Awesome. Okay.
So for those of you who probably don't know who I am, being able to showcase some of that.
Okay, sorry about that.
On a platform.
Had some issues with the double audio because I had the stream open on myself, so we should be okay now.
Nice.
All right, you guys can go ahead and start over.
All right, I will be deafening myself then.
Okay, sounds good. Don't forget to mute. Yeah, thanks.
Cool. So, like I was saying, I know a lot of people who do play this game, but both of these players are actually pretty unfamiliar to me because these are two of the relatively newer people since the time that I was more active. So this is going to be interesting because I don't really know what to expect out of playstyles here or character choices.
So quantumpotato is very new. He joined kind of when, right when I got handed over this Discord, Quantum had asked to join, and he was new to the game, and I was helping him out, kind of get started. And Ober's been around. He used to join the dailies, but he did it, I think, intensely right when it was up, but then he was in and out after that.
I see. Okay. All right, so we got the classic exhibition match of Jefailey versus Markman. I've seen plenty of Jefailey, but man, it's been a while since I've seen Markman. For those of you who may not have been around for the history, in early versions of Divekick, Markman was a very, very powerful character.
Yes, back in vanilla, he definitely had a faster kick and a better air special.
Yeah. Ober doing a pretty good job of holding the line here.
Jefailey is a charge character. You have to hold kick, and when you release kick, he'll actually do his kick, but you can charge up to 5 seconds for extra speed on your kick.
Yep. And Markman's general character design, as you're probably seeing, there's a lot of stuff going on here. There's a lot of... Ooh, nice approach. There's a lot of Markman kind of digging through the floor here. Markman's design is very much inspired by like Phoenix Wright from Capcom 3. His special move, his main ground special move, actually doesn't cost any meter, but instead he kind of uses it to dig up items from the floor. Nice space control by Ober there. But you can see he's kind of just like digging up items and throwing them out, and they all have different effects. A lot of them do pretty much what you would expect them to do intuitively, but also you see that he can start doing stuff like this. Ooh, that was a really good feint. I like
a lot of air control plus that feint. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that feint was actually really slick. Oh, very nice.
When you are headshot, you will be concussed for about 4 seconds, and in those 4 seconds, your velocity and kick speed are drastically dropped. Oh, is he gonna get the corner? Oh, that was the second headshot.
Yeah, there's actually really good recognition from like the spacing and the potential response there. I actually like the idea for quantumpotato doing special there, because as you can probably guess, the fact that Markman kind of crouches down to start digging for an item, it does actually lower his hurt box accordingly. So
you might
potentially, if Ober would have misplaced that, then quantumpotato might have actually been able to duck it, but it did not quite work out that time. But yeah, old Markman in early versions of Divekick was a lot stronger because he was a lot faster, and now I mean he still can be pretty effective with like smart item usage and good spacing, but he definitely has to work a bit harder just because he's not nearly as mobile as he used to be. But it looks like quantumpotato is actually going to make the switch early here to Kung Pao. Kung Pao, for a lot of people who might have at least seen this game somewhat casually, probably a little bit more of an infamous character. She's very, very popular. She's very, very strong. I would say that she's definitely Chicago's favorite character, by far. But Ober demonstrating pretty good knowledge of the matchup here.
There will be points where quantumpotato can punish Jefailey's movement. Obviously not when she's concussed, but her kick allows her to reach pretty far, And if Ober makes a short movement forward, she can come in and hit him in the head with his head so big.
Yeah. So part of what makes Kung Pao so strong in this game and so popular is that for, I guess, people who are more familiar with traditional kind of fighting game footsies, Kung Pao is arguably the best character in the game when it comes to whiff punishing, just because of like how far out her kick goes and the fact that her angle is more of like kind of a narrow angle. But Ober demonstrating really good control in that match because, I mean, Jefailey kind of just covers that sort of ideal space to kind of wall out her approach a bit. So now Quantum Potato actually going to trade Johnny Gat. This is an interesting choice, and actually I think that this matchup tends to be kind of funny if the Johnny Gat player is actually using like specials in a fun way. So anybody who's unfamiliar with this game, yes, Johnny Gat from Saints Row, specifically Saints Row 3's version, is a guest character in this game, and he does a lot of really fun stuff that's kind of references to stuff that's in that game. Unfortunately, he's not generally considered to be a very strong character, but he does have some really fun stuff that he can do.
The grab gun is not only a technical like marvel, it's also very, very hilarious when he gets that thing out.
It really is. Unfortunately, it seems like Ober just, I mean, really demonstrating kind of his understanding of the spaces that Jefailey controls so well. And Johnny Gat, on top of not being super mobile, is also a very large target comparatively. So, Quantum Potato trying to find the answer character select here, but Ober just managing to have a pretty clean performance 3-0 in our first match.
Alright, thanks, Ober. We'll get the second round started soon. We'll figure out how many people have finished their matches and who's been reporting, and we'll get the second round on way. Arjun, can you do an introduction of yourself? I forgot to do introductions for me, but I figure you can start with yourself, and then I'll try to add something for myself as well.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. So my name is Argonross. I have a long and fairly storied history with this game. If by chance you have seen the Action Esports YouTube video covering this game and some of its history, you probably saw me on that. You probably saw me gassing myself up very intensely about my tournament history. I mean, for those of you who may not have been around back then, I do actually have a pretty consistently good track record when it comes to major tournaments that have hosted Divekick. I've won a very large number in attendance that I've been to. The CEOs are always the ones that escaped me. But generally, I've placed very high, if not first. Most Divekick tournaments that I've been to, at least in terms of majors, of course, I would not have gotten where I was without being a part of basically the Divekick daily community, which was a lot more active when the game first dropped in 2013. That's where I met a lot of these people who are super badasses at the game with every character manageable, and they really molded me into the player that I eventually became. And then I just kind of happened to be one of the ones who frequented a lot of major tournaments. So I play Redacted. Redacted currently is generally considered to be probably the best character in the game. I would like to think that the amount of time I put into the character probably contributed to the knowledge base that allowed people to see that. Because Redacted is really kind of I would argue something of a high skill ceiling character comparatively for this game. But Redacted was my favorite character from basically the first time that I even touched the game when it was still in beta. I love that character a lot. I know probably everything that there is to know about that character. And I mean, I really just fell in love with this game. And it's really nice to see that there's still like so much growth, or like, the fact that there's really like a community that's kind of bouncing back for this game, after so long. Because I mean, I've definitely been a little bit off the grid for Divekick for a while, moving on to other things. But it's really nice to see that there's like so much that's kind of happening with this game again.
Agreed.
So I'm rambling a little bit, but yeah, basically.
No worries, you don't have to ramble anymore. We're on to round 2. We've got Savvy and Spidermin, or Mackerelmin, as he's known in the Discord.
Okay.
Looks like we've got a Kung versus Mr. N battle.
All right. So
Savvy's been around for a
matchup-
while. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say. So this matchup is interesting because Mr. N is also generally considered to be a very, very powerful character in this game, with some pretty unique advantages over other characters. But this matchup in particular is noticeably stacked against Mr. N at like higher levels of play. So really, we just need to see if Savvy kind of understands the spacing to be able to capitalize on the parts of the matchup that are favorable for her. But right now, it looks like Spiderman's actually getting a pretty good offense going.
Yeah, Mr. N needs to build that meter so he can utilize his air control to do what we call fakes, or I think his special is Marnito, which is a in the mid-air float. You just saw it there. Gets a little glowing hands and pauses in the air. Wow, that was an
really
awesome portal for the headshot.
It's actually a very, very good portal, like perfectly placed.
So Kung Pao, what she needs to do is she needs to control the space in front of Mr. N. Mr. N, in order to land the hit, he actually has to sit on that other character. His kick is actually right underneath his body, so in order for him to get the kill, he has to actually get above someone and land that kick.
Yeah. So the thing that makes this character so strong is that, like, considering how large he is, he does move surprisingly fast. But the other thing too is I would say that he's also definitely in the class of characters that have really high skill ceilings just because of how his air special works. As we mentioned, he has kind of like an air special that allows him to like float in midair. But what's nice about that is not only can you just kind of do it as is and alter like your aerial trajectory, you can actually cancel your dive kick into the float and then cancel out of the float into another dive kick and actually be able to do that in a repeated sequence if your execution is really good. For those who are younger in the community or haven't been around, back in the day, there was a player by the name of Mushroom Gas who was probably one of the few people that I never, ever, ever wanted to play in a bracket because he was so good with this character and he was so proficient at like mastering that movement that he absolutely knew how to capitalize on the potential momentum that this character has, like with what seemed like relative ease.
Looks like Savvy was able to take, I think that's the first game?
Yeah, that would be 1-1.
Oh,
so,
no, second game, yeah.
Yes.
I do know that Spidermin is new to the game.
Yes.
So it's very good that he's having a nice showing here, taking a game off a veteran, and he's definitely utilizing that high jump. Hopefully, trying to get Kung to go into a bad position and land on top of her.
Yeah. So really, what seems like it's happening is Spiderman definitely taking like a pretty aggressive approach here early on, and again, like as I mentioned before, like just because of Mr. N's potential for movement. There's a lot more aggressive play that tends to come from that character, and so it kind of lies on the Kung Pao player to whiff punish Mr. N to really like capitalize on what makes this matchup generally more in her favor. And it seems like Savvy's kind of getting a little bit overwhelmed by the offense here.
That kick factor speed bonus that Spiderman had allowed him to kind of chase her down, but Savvy was able to kind of get away for a while, but kind of got hit at the end. But there's no more kick factor on Spiderman's side.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely like to. I would like to see a little bit
no!
more. Oh,
He
no.
jumped into
Jumping
it.
right into it.
That kick
Yeah.
factor flash pause has definitely caused me to do things that I didn't want to do, but accidentally pressed the button for.
Oh god, if I had $1 for every time that happened to me.
That was a very clean hit there. I think he canceled her kick factor with that hit.
Yeah. Canceling the kick factor and also actually shutting down the portal before the teleport actually registered.
All right, going down to the last round.
Final round in game 3. Oh!
Oh,
Nice.
gets.
Savvy finding the hit.
I believe that's 2-1 for
Managing.
Savvy now.
Yeah. Capitalizing on the rare moment of hesitation there from Spidermin.
I'll have to figure out how to get some graphics so we can actually keep score, because I definitely can't remember scores.
Yeah, right now it's 2-1 Savvy. So, Savvy adjusting a little bit to... Ooh, okay.
Wow. They were getting a lot more patient this game.
Yeah, so I guess it seems like Spiderman is kind of recognizing that Savvy's kind of keeping a closer eye on his offense right now and starting to, this is where it starts to get a lot more favorable for Kung Pao, is when the Kung Pao player is like really monitoring movement of the Mr. N player.
Oh.
And basically, oh
Nice
wow,
portal,
that
nice
was
portal.
cheeky. Yeah.
When Mr. N comes in, that's when Savvy's looking to try to punish that approach. Mr. N has to get in a position to jump high, and he wants to do it close so he doesn't have to use too much of his meter to land that kill. It looks like he's doing a very, very good job.
Yep, this is a very intense adjustment from Savvy, and he finds the headshot for the double kill, and
I believe that's a set.
Yes, it is. Ending on a fraud.
That was definitely a good display, though. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Just it was a good demonstration of I mean, like you mentioned, like Savvy's a bit of a veteran for the game at this point, and when you've been playing the game for a while, you start to understand like how people tend to move, how characters tend to move, and I mean, again, Kung Pao is just like so good at like whiff punishing people, and like capitalizing on like player mistakes and like awkward character placement. Yeah, it's just like it really contributes to what makes her like generally considered to be so strong. Is that like she's one of those characters in the game where you can really afford to be patient, like arguably at all times. And like it's just kind of the notion of like being able to be so effective without having to put in like an extreme amount of effort. And again, that matchup, just because of Mr. N's size and the way that he moves, it's really easy for her to get like some of those key whiff punishes. So when you really refine that skill just as a player, it becomes really, really hard for Mr. N to be successful without a lot of very tricky movement.
Can you remind me of who you saw as the good Kong players who played that matchup well?
Let's see, like Kung Pao versus Mr. N.
Yeah, that matchup. If I don't know if you have someone in mind, but if you don't, then just honorable Kongs would be good too.
I mean, I would say, at least in terms of like, I think basically any solid Kong player would be able to play that matchup very, very well. Because again, like the core thing with Kung Pao is that like, like her setting up portals and being able to use them obviously gives you access to some really cheeky stuff that allows you to kind of like punish things in weird ways or capitalize on people like super overextending with their aggression. But in general, like Kung Pao is really a very like fundamentals based kind of character that operates again just more in the concept of whiff punishing than anything else. So a lot of players that are just kind of like solid in their understanding of that play the character, just generally end up doing it very well. I would say that we have one pretty competent Kung Pao player in this bracket, Waasiq. Waasiq's actually been around for a very, very long time. He was part of the old school of Chicago players that really got into this game when it first dropped. And he was definitely one of the more notable Kung Pao players at the time. He had multiple top 8 appearances at different events that were actually like relatively high profile back when the game was new. Also, I would say you could definitely add the Lord Hansen to that list. Hansen, I'm not sure if he's actually been around in this Discord or the old one. But Hansen, I would say, is consistently one of the strongest Kung Pao players that the game has ever seen. He's a family man now. He's doing very well for himself. The last time that I saw him at Frosty Faustings at 2019, he was doing really well. It was really great to see him again. He's a super chill guy. Very, very talented Kung Pao player. He understands the character very well. He knows how to clutch things out in matchups that are normally very, very difficult for that character. It would be nice to see him again one day. But I would say he's like kind of the epitome of what that character is capable of in good hands. And there's definitely more just beyond that. I've run into a number of people in my time who are like people that I can't name off the top of my head now, but like there's a lot of like potential to be like really solid with that character very quickly. I would even say that most people who are experienced in the game can pick up that character and find a way to do very, very well under the right circumstances, just because like she's so fundamentally solid.
I find her the least amount of buttons to press, but the most effective. But that all comes from understanding the spacing and the movement, because controlling her movement isn't an easy feat, even though you're only pressing buttons a little bit less than other characters.
Yeah. And it really just comes down to the nature of like how her dive kick works. Like the whole drawback with the angle of that is that, she's extremely good at whiff punishing things at a level that other characters aren't capable of, but because of the narrow angle and because, you can't really control your character's movement until after you've landed from performing a dive kick, it means that despite her whiff punishing being so good, whiffing herself is very potentially costly. So she's a very powerful character, but also a very precise character. And if you don't really know how to control like that level of precision, I'm not going to say that like she suddenly becomes like a bad character in somebody's hands, but it's one of those things where it's like you very, very quickly learn the consequences of not really controlling like how you're approaching, how you're punishing things and whatnot in a proper way.
All right, just we're trying to see if we can get the reports from round 2, but it looks like some of them might not have started. You know what? Might as well put one on stream since we're waiting. This is another game from round 2. This will be Capconian versus OberKy. Ober, you're already in here, so go ahead and share. Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Capconian and OberKy. This should be interesting. So I guess to give my piece, for those who don't know, Capconian has been playing this game basically as long as I have. James! I met Capconian through this game. We're very good friends now. I've known him for a long time. Cool dude. He is, I would say, safely at this point, the shoulder god. There have probably only ever been a couple of people that could play this character close to his level. But every Shoals player that I've encountered who's at that level has played this character in a very different way. And Capconians, I would say, has always been probably the most methodical.
I gotta say that my favorite Shoals players besides Cap is gotta be Toko. Blabooer also has pretty good Shoals. I mean, there's been a lot. I think there was a guy named Diamond. I think he changed his name to Seko, but he had a very good Shoals as well.
Yeah, I definitely remember playing Toko quite a bit in the old days. Toko's style of Shoals is it's funny because like again like To me, like Capconian and Toko play this character in very, very different ways. Toko is like super, super aggressive.
Alright,
Like
we're looking at OberKy versus Capconian right now. In this particular matchup, Capconian's gonna rule the skies, and Dive has to find a way to either punish her for coming in, or build that kick factor and come after her.
Yep. So far, Capconian running away with quite a few rounds in this set, but I'd say Ober's actually handling it pretty well. Oh,
Ooh.
nice egg. Yeah. That is a...
Yeah, that's definitely a common scenario with Shoals over you, and you're not sure if she's going to do a turnaround by doing a fly cancel.
Yeah.
If you can explain how that how that's executed, that would probably be helpful for our viewers.
So, for people who have maybe only seen like little bits of this game, Shoals has the merit of being able to have so much of a height advantage over other characters, and having like the multiple dive kick angles that it's really hard to chase her down if you don't know what you're doing. But on top of it, when you're playing like against a really, really good Shoals player, the key feature of this character is her special, which is hover. Much like with Mr. N, she can cancel into hover out of a dive kick and then cancel from it into a dive kick. But you also have to...
This situation right here is pretty common, where you're going to get into a headshot, and Shoals is going to try to line up multiple headshots and try to close out the round.
Yeah. And this is just because of the level of like movement and like air manipulation that she's capable of with her hover. The thing about hover is that, like, with Mr. N's, like, Marnito, like, you end the float by just letting go of the buttons. You do special moves in this game by hitting both buttons at the same time, either on the ground or in the air. And as long as you're holding one down, if you're doing a special move that has to be held or can be held, as long as you're holding one down, you'll keep it active. And with Mr. N, like, it just lasts until you let go of the buttons. With Shoals, you actually have to manually turn hover on and off, which actually makes it a lot harder to do stuff like this, where you get an instant turnaround to chase somebody down. And this is the thing that Capconian is so good with.
I think Ober's... Oh no! Ober was doing a great job at avoiding. He almost had kick factor, but Capconian seals in the headshot, knocking away all his meter.
Yeah, and this is the thing about Capconian's playstyle with this character that makes him like so refined and so dangerous, is that like he totally understands that like the thing that makes Shoals so threatening is when she gets right over your head like that and has the potential to do those hover cancels. Like,
yes,
it's
totally
very scary to move out of that situation, because any raw movement, like any sensitive movement that you try to do to escape it, could potentially lead to you getting a headshot. And Shoals, for what it's worth, even though she has like a number of matchups that she struggles with in this game a lot, like very intensely, she's probably one of the scariest characters in the game when it comes to what she's capable of for looping headshots.
That was an awesome line hold by OberKy there, sneaking in. Capconian was trying to float above, try to tie the line, ends up scooting a little bit to the left and losing the round. We'll see if Ober can finish this round off and get back on the board.
Nice chase. Yeah, Dive thankfully just kind of being like the pro tag character of this game, just of course being very well rounded, having a lot of tools to deal with like a lot of situations. There's always a way to clutch something out with this character. Oh wow, that's a special dive kick hitbox moment there.
Is that 2-0 or is that the whole one? This is why I gotta get recording for the matches here.
That's a good question.
That might have been
like
it.
Yeah. Just having to cover like so many different things to kind of,
no
shed
worries.
light on what's happening.
So I think that was 3-0, right? So I'll just report that now then.
But yeah, I mean, that's just a testament to the proficiency of Capconian with this character. I mean, Ober still did like generally pretty well. At least like because really the key thing when you're fighting shoals is that like if you get headshot once, like and in general, when you get headshot in this game, the goal is not necessarily to immediately fight back and be able to take a round. The goal is to not get headshot again. um, and I think Shoals is the one character definitively where that holds true. Um, because as long as you have another round left before the game is over, as long as you don't get headshot multiple times in a row, you always have a chance to make a comeback. I would say in general in this game, you can always like find a way to make an intelligent play and salvage just about any game. Um, but the debuffs that come with taking a headshot are so extreme that if you're getting chain headshot to death, it's very difficult to actually mount that comeback because not only do you get like a significant speed debuff on both like your dive and your kick, you also lose all of your meter and you're locked out from gaining meter for the duration of the headshot. And when you're playing this game at like a higher level, and especially certain matchups, the loss of that meter can actually be like a huge, huge swing in momentum in favor of the person who scored the headshot. And Shoals is arguably one of the best characters in the game at chaining headshots one after another, especially if you have like that level of proficiency with being able to do hover cancels and altering your positioning and stuff like that.
We've got our next matchup. This is going to be in round 3. Looks like the winner's side still. We've got Waasiq and Sneeze Lord 93, which is previously known as HDiz 93. Plays a very good Jefailey.
Yes.
I'm going to try to prioritize people who haven't been on stream just yet. So this is a matchup where both players haven't been on stream, so that's why I picked this one. But I'm trying my best. We'll see if we can get everyone on.
This should also be a very good one because I actually know both of these players, and I know that they are both very, very good at what they do. Both of these guys are veterans for sure. Waasiq, as I mentioned, is part of like the old school Chicago crew that was playing this game a lot from like launch. And Sneeze Lord, formerly known as HDiz, was also a very active member of the Divekick dailies back in the day. I would say he's safely the best Jefailey player out there. At least at the time, he definitely was. Very, very strong, very knowledgeable with the character, very good at controlling like a lot of situations that like honestly, I would say that Sneeze Lord was probably the person that really changed my opinion of this character when I thought that he was like probably a little bit hopeless.
Okay.
And as we can see, Sneeze Lord actually establishing pretty early control in this match.
Oh, was going to get a low kick in. That's one of the things that people try to learn and when they're playing Jefailey is when they're descending from a kick, they can usually kick fairly close to right under them, and sometimes it can be surprising for players who have not seen that.
Yeah, and actually, that's the one thing I will say, like the one just general tactic with Jefailey that I think Sneeze Lord is actually super good at. Like he's always been good at that.
There's another late kick right there.
Yeah, that is the thing that I remember when having to play against him in old Divekick dailies. Like that was the thing that I always struggled with the most because he was so good and so consistent at it, and it really makes this character like surprisingly hard to approach.
Yes, it makes the distance you need to travel to successfully clear the danger zone a lot farther if you can't stand right underneath him.
Yeah.
We'll see if Waasiq can get a good approach and punish HDiz, who's primarily just charging and punishing right now. We'll see if he can find a way in.
Honestly, like I feel like, oh my god, that's just the placement on that is crazy. It's so good. See, like, oh man, just like absolute control here. Like, I think it's notable that, again, just because Sneaselord's been around for so long, he's fought like all of
Plenty
the
of
best
kunks.
Kung
Yeah,
Pao
plenty of
players
kunks.
multiple times. He has probably seen everything that this character is capable of in the context of this matchup. And I feel like, honestly, this matchup is like so hard for Kung Pao. Because, like,
This is the
unless,
start of a
unless,
possible choke here.
this is
Waasiq can bring
a,
it back.
yes. And now there's definitely a chance.
Oh,
But, oh goodness. Even
oh.
then, just like, as much of a disadvantage as it is that, Jefailey has that constantly growing head, you still have to compensate for the fact that the extra floatiness that he gets, the extra height that he gets as a result of it, regardless of if he's headshot or not, just like you have to be able to compensate for that. And this is one of the key things that Kung Pao struggles with the most, actually, as a character, is just characters that generally have the capacity to like maintain that height leverage over her, because she really has to go to she has to compensate for the fact that she cannot meet that height range with just about any other character in the game. And the fact that Jefailey has this kind of weird angle and like just this absolute wall of a hitbox for his kick,
Oh no.
it's a lot to overcome for this character.
That was an untimely kick factor activation for Kung Pao. The
Yeah.
kick activation has a flash pause, and during that pause, Jefailey can continue to grow his charge, and it was just enough to meet her in the center, knocking out all her kick factor.
Yep. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a really hard comeback to make.
I think that if you get a headshot on Jefailey at this position, you can definitely come back. So
Nice. Yeah.
Waasiq is on his way.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those key things of this matchup where it's like you really, really have to be good, like super good with dice. Very nice. You have to be super good with managing this particular situation where Jefailey has like this massive head to work with, but
Whoa.
unfortunately, just the right amount of patience from Sneaselord to close it out, and I believe it's going to be a 3-0.
I think that is a 3-0. I think Waasiq was trying to rush in there thinking Sneaselord would just charge, and hopefully he would catch him with another headshot.
Yeah, it's like I said before. Like honestly, I feel like that this is a very very hard matchup for Kung Pao because it's all the pieces that Kung Pao doesn't want to have to deal with in like the average Divekick matchup. You have a distinct disadvantage in like height leverage. You're dealing with a character whose like Divekick hitbox is like just like a frontal wall of sorts and not necessarily like an angled down sort of approach. Like, the and really the thing that would tip the scales in her favor is the kind of thing where you literally have to bring yourself close to losing the game to start being able to see something that could lead into more of an advantageous state. It's very very difficult. But it's a very notable thing to point out about this game too, because like by most people's metrics, Kung Pao is a very very powerful character in this game. Like I would say safely at least like a top 5 character for the vast majority of people that would rate characters in this game, and probably even better than that on average. Um, but it's really just testament to the fact that like no matter how good your character is in this game, like there's always going to be that one matchup, that one really toxic, like super difficult to overcome matchup that means that you still have to maintain like a level of proficiency with your character that allows like victory to be more accessible in those situations, or possibly even to consider the notion of counterpicking, which has actually become a very popular thing um, amongst like the highest level of play. Um, I've found that over time it was very rare to see most players, or at least a good number of players, end up being true character loyalists, where they haven't at least considered counterpicking for certain matchups. Um, Capconian, despite being the Shoals god, I have definitely on multiple occasions seen him do counterpicks for like Dive or Kung Pao to deal with certain matchups because like Shoals versus Mr. N, for example, is like a nightmare scenario.
All right, we've got our next match set up. We've got Laitome and Blabooer. And slight pause here. Okay,
So,
looks like it's coming in now.
Blabooer is technically, I don't remember him being around very much for like the early days, but he has been around for a while at this point.
He does Shoals, Fencer, and I think sometimes N. Laitome has always been a Kenny player himself.
Yeah.
He has picked other characters, but Laitome loves Kenny and that Spirit Bullet. Spirit Bullet setups are his thing.
Yes, and Laitome has actually been around for quite a while. The names that come to mind for me when it comes to Kenny players are definitely Laitome and if you remember like the old days, East Gold.
Oh yeah, East Gold was awesome.
Yes, those are the two big names for Kenny players for sure, and it's really cool to see that Laitome is still around.
I think Perry the Lightning used to play S-Kill in Vanilla, and he switched over to Kenny.
Yes, I think he did actually.
As well, and he was pretty good as well.
Yes, Perry the Lightning. I mean,
So
Perry
this
the
is-
Lightning was for a time, I would say, probably the most consistent dive kick player at high level events in the early days, like in Vanilla.
All right,
S-Kill
I'm gonna
was
have to
a
go over one
monster.
of the special things in this matchup, and that's Kenny's standing height is a little it's a lot shorter than the rest of the cast, and specifically in this matchup, Fencer has a sword that he can throw. It's probably the fastest projectile in the game, but he can't hit Kenny unless Kenny is kind of near him, and that's because of the rotation of the sword. Kind of just sails over his head. But that sword makes Fencer really good, and unfortunately he's going to have to find the right time to use it in this matchup.
Yeah.
He's got to catch Kenny jumping into it, or when Kenny is a bit too close.
Let's see what Laitome does with this here. Oh, very nice. Just keeping the line.
Laitome was, his stance right there was Jefailey used the charge to kind of just set up for that line battle he knew was coming.
This is kind of an interesting situation here because, so for those who don't know, Kenny is basically the equivalent of like Mokujin in Tekken, where every single round he transforms into a different character. Whoa, what? Oh, well, that was the sword.
The counter stab.
Oh man,
that was a tough one. I thought he had the headshot, but ended up being a sword stab instead.
So, like I was saying, Kenny basically takes the dive kick of a random character in the game every single round, but he has his own set of special moves, which are quite good. But the fact that you are basically rolling a random character every round means that, I mean, that might be good for some situations, but sometimes if you just like roll the wrong thing at the wrong time, it's very hard to mount a comeback, or it creates a weird opportunity for the opponent to kind of reverse the momentum. Laitome, much more stable this game though, getting 3 rounds up right away. Getting some decent rolls here, but now we get
this is a tough one.
Get the S-Kill. Yeah. Good patience from Laitome though, recognizing that I mean, you got to have some level of patience to deal with the. Oh god.
The kick factor for Fencer is actually very thematic to his Nidhogg roots. If he gets kick factor, leaving the screen will secure him the win.
Yeah. And it's often very, very hard to. Oh wow!
The random kung for the win. That's something that happens with Kenny a lot. You're not sure what stance you are. You press some buttons, and somehow you win the round.
Yeah,
I've seen the opposite as well. You can lose the round just as quickly.
Yeah, it definitely goes both ways depending on the situation. That's one thing that's funny about Kenny is like a random select character, because like in a game like Tekken with Mokujin, you can tell from your like idle stance what character you are before the round really goes. With Kenny, you don't get that luxury. You only find out after you like do a dive kick. To some degree, you can tell based on like the angle of when you jump. Usually, you have to just commit to your dive kick.
Oh no!
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Mr. N has a very steep kick, and unfortunately got hit by the sword before he can land that kick.
Nice bit of patience from Laitome there.
Yeah, he just knows that distance of when the sword can hit him and when it can't. Oh, the roll underneath! Oh, only to get punished.
There was a very nice spirit ball from Laitome there, but didn't quite have enough time to capitalize on it. Still managed to salvage it at the end.
Let's see if he can get. Oh! So that was a just frame thunder kick. It happens when you're not sure if you're trying to do it or not, but a little bit too fast there.
Yeah.
We're looking at Sensei stance for Kenny.
Yep. Now,
the sword is behind Kenny now, and this is a great position for it because Fencer's power lies in the sword and getting that fast projectile, and if Kenny can successfully defend, Fencer has a very hard time moving around.
Yep.
Oh no.
And Laitome rolling Redacted for his dive kick there too, which, I mean, that angle is particularly good at defending a position, so even more favorable. We were actually getting the kick factor here and being able to capitalize and just kind of run away with it, though. Oh, that was a nice spirit bullet.
That's a very tough move to execute when you're Laitome as when you're Kenny as Kung stance. Getting that spirit bullet to trigger from a Kung kick, there's a minimum height restriction for it, and if you don't get it, you'll end up just kicking and the spirit bullet won't come out. So I'm glad he was able to get that in there.
Yeah, it was like a very good recognition of that, the height that you needed for that.
You'll never diagnose with economy class syndrome.
So as we've already kind of mentioned, there are a good number of special moves in this game that are aerial that you can cancel into, like with the dive kicks, and also be able to dive kick after them. Kenny is another one of those characters, and Kenny arguably has one of the scariest air specials to do that with, because as you see, it creates kind of like a homing projectile that if it makes contact, it causes you to freeze for a couple of seconds. Which, if the placement is correct, Kenny basically gets like a free round or potentially even a headshot off of that. So knowing how to do those cancels can make Kenny very, very scary. One thing that actually makes him even scarier is that the activation of the homing bullet in the air actually does have startup, and until it starts up, you don't actually spend the meter for the bullet. So if you're really cheeky and you're super aware of the situation to the extent that you could make this effective, you can actually do the startup for the homing bullet and then cancel out of it before firing the bullet to basically do like a free cancel of a whiffed dive kick and alter your trajectory that way.
To give a little more detail on that, when you activate it, it starts to drain the meter, and if you cancel it fast enough, then you won't spend much meter at all, and it looks like it's no meter. But the longer you hold it, the more meter's spent, and when that ball is out, it's draining your meter the whole time. And when it hits, it actually cancels all your meter. So there's that risk reward. Do you let it hit and lose all your meter, or do you try to get a kill with your natural kick like that? Let's see. Still, Blabooer switched to Shoals. Got 2 rounds, but is on the last round of the last game here. We'll see if he can come back into the match. Ooh. Chased him down to the corner, is able to secure the win.
Yeah, nice bit of aggression there from Laitome.
I was wondering, like, whenever you see Shoals skim over the head, you gotta wonder when is she gonna turn around, because she has the ability to cancel and move into it.
Yeah, that's really the thing that makes her like a very significant threat, because you know, you would think that with just the nature of like her narrow angle and having to kind of either land or commit to a second kick from that stage, like the real threat of fighting that character is that, like, you know, you think that you're basically going to get like your free whiff punish or your free chance to kind of move in and set yourself up for something. But if she turns around midair and just like clocks you in the dome, like that's
yeah, it's a game changer, especially against Kenny, who relies on his meter. And if he's headshot, not only is he concussed, but he also starts the round with no meter for 4 seconds. And to get back to his powerful state where he has that spirit bullet available, he's going to have to do some work.
Yeah.
All right, give me a sec. I'm going to go ahead and check scores to see if I can set up our next round.
Yeah, okay. So it looks like we got a Capconian and Sneaselord waiting in winners finals right now. And on losers side, we are looking at Savvy versus Laitome and Waasiq versus Ober. So we were starting to narrow it down where a lot of the veterans are kind of showing their proficiency at this point. I gotta say, those shout outs to all the people that are relatively new that are participating in this event. It's really nice to see that there are new people that are interested in this game, considering that it's like almost 10 years old at this point. This game's a lot of fun. Like basically everyone that I've met in this community is like they're super helpful. They're very welcoming. This community has always been like really chill to me, and I've been a part of a lot of different sub communities in the FGC. So like, it's really nice to see that there are new people kind of coming out and curious about the game and trying their hand against people that are very, very experienced. And hopefully people that are kind of sticking around and like, if you're even potentially interested in the game, or, if you're like just kind of starting and a little bit overwhelmed, like I gotta say, like this, like as intimidating as it might seem, like this game is not only easy to pick up and play, it's actually very approachable to learn. And I mean, yeah, you have some people that have like years and years of experience with this game, but like realistically, like picking up on kind of the sensitivities of a matchup is a thing that's very, very approachable in a short period of time. And I have no doubt that like anybody that wanted to put in the time would easily be able to compete with some of the people that have been around for like a super long time.
All right.
So
we have Waasiq and OberKy skinning up for a match. I want to go ahead and shout out the Discord. If someone could put an invite link into the stream chat. If you guys are interested in Divekick playing and finding players, I'm trying to see if we can get a lot of people on this Discord and have a place where people can learn, have fun, discuss, and join tournaments. This is ran in the Discord, so we have people reporting their scores, talking out matchups. Get all your info there. Thank you, Savvy. All right, we got the classic Kung Pao Jefailey match. We've seen this a few times on stream already.
But it's really weird to see this match happen. Like,
well, I believe that Waasiq has we've seen him play this matchup before. We'll see if he's taken what he's learned from the previous rounds to apply it to this round.
Yep.
I know that OberKy isn't exactly the actually, he might have seen the same. Did Waasiq play OberKy, or let me double check the bracket? I wonder if they played already.
Waasiq played against Sneaselord at least on stream.
Yeah, so he actually Waasiq just played this against Sneaselord, so this will be a different look for a different style, but still the matchup can have similar looks in the fact of the spacing and the charge.
Yeah. Oh, there was actually
a
nice bit of delay on the teleport there, but unfortunately it did not quite pay off.
Whenever you get into that situation where both characters are kicking like over each other's heads and just, I call that the Divekick scramble.
Yeah.
It's a common situation.
Yeah, a nice bit of patience from Waasiq on that last round.
I like that headshot.
This is the kind of situation. Yeah, this is the kind of situation that like Waasiq wants to look for.
Wasn't able to get the headshot, but still got the kill, and is sporting that kick factor for extra speed.
Yeah, still a healthy amount of kick factor left on the bar.
Sets up an exit portal on Jefailey's side. That'll come into play as the match continues. That persists between rounds, and she can come out of that once she has meter for portal.
Yep.
Looks like OberKy trying to hold line. And gets it at the last second. Wow.
The longest zero.
The longest 0 second ever.
I say it all the time with this game, the longest zero. You think you have enough time to finally secure the time over, that zero even though it says 0, it lasts a full second. You have to give yourself a full second. Oh my goodness.
That was definitely a nice setup by Ober. Sets up the timer scan to build a little bit of charge at the beginning. It uses that to pressure Kung into the corner and lands a kill.
Yeah. Waasiq trying to find his way out of that situation, but unfortunately, by attempting to do a kickback, he managed to kind of put his head up into position to get hit, which is kind of what I was saying before about like just how notable like Jefailey's hitbox is in this matchup, because like the hitbox of his kick is pretty intense.
It's very big.
Basically, if your box ends up anywhere within the range of his shorts, you are probably getting hit.
I gotta
that big.
I gotta say, I do like what Waasiq's doing now. He's definitely adjusted since the last match, and he's taken some rounds, and the games have been close. And right now, he's got a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, I think he's recognizing. Really, a key thing is that you definitely have to find a way to get under Jefailey to safely manage to secure hits. Oh, that was actually a nice bit of spacing there. That's really hard to achieve.
Yeah, he got that. Jefailey went in for the attack, and Kung Pao with the whiff punish.
Yep.
Oh, classic concussed approach. You take a few steps to a neutral jump. See if they do any movement. If they don't back up, you can just straight up kick them. If they do back up early, you just adjust your approach again. And if they end up kicking towards you, well then they're just a sitting duck.
Yeah.
One thing about the time, for players who have not played Divekick much, the time starts at 20, but it immediately goes to 19 right as the round begins. And you can think of that as 19.9. And when it gets down to 0, you can think of that as 0.99. And it's going to take a whole second before the time or the round actually ends. So you want to be aware of that when playing the line game. Okay, we got some portal exits set up on the other side. And since that persists between rounds, Waasiq now has the option to come out behind Jefailey for a surprise kick. Oh, there it is. Oh, the counter kick from Jefailey.
I expected he was going to try to do something cheeky with that as soon as he got the meter, but Ober managed to
I definitely saw Ober did not like that portal, and he was trying to inch forward to get away from it a little bit, and it worked.
Yeah.
Using that timeout again to build a little bit of charge. Jefailey's ground special pauses time, but the action still happens, and so you can hold and charge your kick for more speed, while Kung Pao is kind of just forced there to sit there and wait for you to build charge. And when time comes back, you actually have more leverage. Alright, this is a bad spot for Ober. Let's see if he can get out of it. Ooh.
Yeah, the floatiness is still kind of benefiting him just enough that the approach is not quite as straightforward as Waasiq would like for it to be.
Yeah, to explain the Jefailey mechanic, every time he wins a round, his head inflates with ego, the power of ego, and his gravity is lessened, and that combine that with his decent velocity, that means he's going to jump higher and hang for longer.
Yep.
Ooh! Ooh!
Yeah, this is unfortunately, again, regardless of the headshot, just because of the extra floatiness, you have to be you really can't take a whole lot for granted in this matchup. Like it's so easy to overextend in a way that Jefailey really just doesn't have to. He doesn't really have to preempt quite as much. He can kind of just react to where you are, and if you end up just a little bit too much in front of him, and you're not already actively gunning for his head, then it's really hard. Just the way that he shifts his hurt box around on top of just, the entirety of his legs being a danger zone.
Oh.
Oh gosh, unfortunate.
I wonder if that was the kick flash pause again, eating that input, forcing Waasiq to kick untimely there.
Very possible.
Alright, kick factor versus kick factor. Yeah, Waasiq loses it. Jefailey's kick factor is boom kicks for every kick. There's no need to charge. You get full price every time.
Yeah, it is a very, very strong and scary kick factor.
Yes, it is. It's gone now. We'll see if Kung Pao can get back in this match. One headshot should do it. It's gonna get you that significant advantage, and hopefully you can chain it into the win.
Yeah.
I gotta say, with Jefailey,
all,
as your head grows, your movement kind of dies. You get that height, but you can't make small movements as well as you could when your head was small.
Yeah.
Almost got the...
Somehow it did not qualify as a headshot.
Yeah, that chin. Sometimes you hit that chin, it doesn't actually proc the head, unfortunately. You're a little too far into the body.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Waasiq kind of went in there, tried to get that rush down kill, and was punished for it. That was an exciting match, though.
Yeah, it was very good. I think there's definitely something intoxicating about the speed of Kung Pao's kick factor. But again, like in that matchup, it's you really just can't take anything for granted, because like it really, the thing that I realized, especially back then playing against like Sneezlord so much and like other good Jefailey players, is that like despite the fact that Jefailey comes across as like the quote-unquote joke character in the game, as far as defensive characters go, he is very, very strong. You absolutely cannot underestimate like how good Jefailey is at maintaining his own space. And granted, there are like matchup dynamics that kind of go with that, but he is probably one of the hardest characters in the game to reliably approach without surprisingly putting yourself in a very bad situation where you just kind of run into like this wall of a hitbox. And that's, again, part of what makes that particular matchup so difficult for Kung, is that Kung normally kind of wants to approach at that angle, and generally at least try to be a little bit more the aggressor, or try to kind of like condense that space you can really move around in.
We've got the next match started. We've got Savvy versus Laitome. Savvy as Kung Pao and Laitome as Kenny one more time. This is a matchup that is a little tough for Kenny. Kenny likes to build that meter to get to that powerful state where he has his air special, and Kung Pao is pretty good at controlling the ground and making sure that he doesn't get that meter for free. We'll see if Savvy can suppress that meter build, but looks like Kenny's got kick factor right now.
Yeah, and rolling Jefailey twice in a row right off the bat is also a pretty good way to...
This is my favorite stance as Kenny, is that dive with kick factor, and you can do turnarounds and crazy stuff when you have such a strong kick factor as dive.
Yeah.
Using that short attack from above.
Yeah, rolling quite a few favorable characters given the situation. Oh gosh, it's so scary. As if Shoals with hover isn't bad enough. Now you got Shoals with a homing bullet.
That's definitely a problematic setup. When Kenny rolls Shoals though, he doesn't have access to that cancel until he gets meter for the Spirit Bullet, and Kung Pao can try to chase down any type of movement that Kenny makes, because knowing that they don't have cancel, and they can try to punish basically the jump and the kick without any escape by using cancel. That was an awesome portal.
Yeah, it's tricky. I didn't even know what happened there for a second.
Yeah, so Laitome doing his regular kick into Spirit Bullet cancels was in the middle of the stage right next to the portal, and Savvy recognized it and just entered the portal and gave him a kick from behind. Very good patience on Savvy's end.
Yeah, I really like these portal placements, actually. It's like one thing that's even against like really strong Kung Pao players, like seeing the way that they set up portals, it's like it's like its own science, trying to figure out how to really do that in a way that's like that makes it seem like it's a real threat. So seeing like really great portal usage is always like it's really one of the coolest things about this character that doesn't get tapped into quite as much.
I mean, granted, Kung Pao has very good normals, and she can win a match with nothing but normals and kick factor. Very good use of portal, like finding those situations where you can bring unexpected things to the table.
Indeed. Laitome taking that last round with the rare Godfoot. One of those fun features of Markman that's a reference to Tekken.
The Electric Wind Godfoot. Just frame at the top of the jump allows you to get that extra speed and bigger hitbox. I want to say that Kenny's height here is very relevant. There are times that Kung Pao will try to do a jump into a kick, and if she's too close, she'll go right over Kenny's head. Oh, great portal. Great portal.
Yeah. Really great usage of portal just like all through this game.
Is that 2 for Kung, or is that 1 for Kung? I'm so into the game, I'm not remembering the matches. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. We'll have scoreboards next time.
Hopefully.
We'll figure it out.
So Laitome rolled Shoals on the first one. Looks like it's going to be Jefailey on this next one. Trying to build that meter again. He's got it. Savvy trying to be patient, trying to look at places where he can punish the kick of Jefailey. Goes in, whiffs, but gets punished himself. Here comes the bullet. Oh, uses a portal as defensive. You can actually hide in the portal for a very, I think it's a full second. It's a very short amount of time, but it makes a difference when a foot is going by.
Yeah, and that's actually a nice thing too, because like there wasn't actually like an active portal set out at the time, correct?
No. So when you don't have a portal exit, you enter the portal that you create when you kick is the one you actually come out of if there is no portal exit set up.
Yeah, so you do actually have access to that air special, even if you haven't already set up the ground one, which can be kind of nice.
Savvy still has to do a lot of work here, down 4-1. Looks like dive. We're going to see a Spirit Ball cancel. Oh no! And this is the thing I was talking about with Kung and Portal. If she activates it too low, she doesn't actually enter. She'll land before she can get into the portal. Sometimes you really got to watch that height when you're activating your special.
Yeah.
Alright, looks like Jefailey again. Laitome rolling high on Jefailey today.
So there's a lot of magic with Kenny that really comes from just rolling the right character at the right time.
Yes, this S-Kill one is also one that it seems like he's been getting a lot today, but S-Kill is not very offensive, but he builds meter very quickly, so you can build up to get your Spirit Bullet and try to use that to pressure. I got a patient game by both players seeing what's happening, and Savvy able to find an opportunity to get a kill in. Sensei's a good stance, got that height. Ooh, uses the Spirit Bullet to set up a corner kill.
Yeah, it's a very hard situation to avoid once you get cornered.
Yeah, that Spirit Bullet moving around, it's going to chase you, and you got to find a way to... do you let yourself get frozen, or do you back up into the corner? It's a rock in a hard place. Oh, S-Kill again. That's actually pretty good for Pao. Oh no, oh no.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a pretty unfortunate roll for Laitome trying to pursue a headshot situation, but he still manages to get the chain. Yeah, that's that's rough. The way that Kenny in particular utilizes Mr. N's kick is it's actually quite scary, because you have kind of like the speed and sort of like the coverage underneath of the hitbox of that kick, but Kenny doesn't have to deal with the size of the hurtbox that Mr. N has, while also having access to, you know, Spirit Bullet in the midst of that. So Kenny with Mr. Divekick is uniquely threatening.
I really got to remember the matches, because we should have hyped up that last round. Looks like that was the end of the set. Hopefully I can write them down next time, keep better track. Whoops. Let's make sure I get this bracket up here. I believe... I don't know who that was, so hopefully Savvy and Laitome can report that. And then we might have... should we do winners final or losers finals first? Probably winners final first, right?
Yeah, I believe that the typical the typical etiquette here is to do winners finals, then losers semis, then losers finals, and grand finals.
Oh, okay. So we kind of
So,
did. We didn't do. We did loser semis, so we're gonna do winter finals, and then
yeah.
we'll do losers finals next. So
Okay.
I believe that'll be Cap and we'll try to get them set up. If you could fill the air, please. Thanks.
Oh, sure. So I hope you guys are enjoying our. I guess this is technically the first open event for Divekick Infinite. Um, it's really nice to have people coming out and just like watching the game that we love to play so much. Um, for the fact that this is kind of like the first like open event, we have like a really good showing. We have a lot of like old heads that are coming back to show off their skills. We have a lot of new people that are like trying to break into the game and really see what's out there to offer. Yeah, so I I kind of jumped in to do commentary sort of like last minute, but it's really nice to be here and just kind of interact with the community again and see what people have to present today. As far as tournaments that we do here on Divekick Infinite, I know Thanos here is
I'm trying to set up.
actively working
Yeah,
on.
I'm trying to set up a few tournaments. This is the first open, and that's going to be open tournament, meaning that all characters are available, all gems are available, and it's the standard tournament where the whole tournament goes best of 5, and there's no character ban or anything. We've had a test tournament before where it was like a dive mirror only. You might have been able to see that on OberKy's stream, and that was a lot of fun. It limits down the matchup to a very limits down the players' knowledge to have in the game to a very small set, so that we can kind of see. We want it to be welcoming to new players, so I suggest that if new players are scared to enter the open tournaments, go ahead and try to enter like a mirror tournament. You'll have less to know, and you'll be able to learn a lot by watching people play and playing yourself.
Yeah. So, in terms of future tournaments, what kind of the schedule did you have in mind? Are you trying to do things like bi-weekly?
I don't quite know. I'm just kind of everything's off the cuff right now, depending on my time and the type of help I get from people like you and the community. We'll see if we can get it to be more regular. But just playing it by ear for now. Glad for everyone watching, everyone participating. It's a fun game, and I love to see people play it. So we got Capconian against Sneezelord. We've got Dr. Scholes versus Kung Pao. I believe that Sneezelord has switched off of Jefailey because Jefailey does have a hard time with Scholes. It's not an unwinnable matchup, but it's a hard one, and so he's preferring the Kung in this matchup.
Yeah, it's Scholes versus Jefailey is a very difficult matchup, and I mean, again, just like Capconian's level of refinement with this character, like he really knows how to capitalize on things that make like he knows how to squeeze out every little advantage that he can get with his character, and he just like and just the nature of the disadvantage that comes with playing Jefailey against Scholes, like it's such a horrible thing for Jefailey to deal with when the Scholes player knows how to capitalize. But right now, this Kung Pao pick is well, right now it's working out a lot better for Capconian because of just an early round 1 headshot is kind of snowballing into this out of control situation.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much Sneelord has brought his Kung back, because I know that he's played a lot back in the day, but I'm not sure on how well he's versed in the matchup today. Capconian, on the other hand, has been playing a little bit. Speaking of the Scholes Jefailey matchup, we actually did like a fun matchup the day after, or sometime after the tournament, and it's actually within OberKy's stream if people want to check out what the matchup between, or what a match between Capconian Scholes and a Jefailey looks like. They can check that VOD over on OberKy's stream. Okay, so this is how I sum up the matchup. Is Dr. Scholes is gonna approach with either a high kick or a low kick. A low kick is definitely much more dangerous, much more risky. Kung Pao can jump over it, but if she has cancels, then she can try to make that pause before coming in, or just like that. Or she can come in high and try to set up something safely, but this gives Kung room underneath to travel if she wants to get under and away. And
And now Sneezeward is actually playing this like pretty much perfectly this game. This is more of what the average situation looks like. Capconian really managed to get a lot of mileage out of that early headshot in the previous game, but this is more of a proper emphasis of what this matchup looks like at a high level, where like despite how dangerous Shoals can be when she gets that headshot momentum, the difference in precision levels that these characters have just kind of makes it so that if Shoals makes even something slightly resembling the wrong kind of movement, it's very easy for Kung Pao to capitalize and turn it right back around and usually get a free round off of it.
I believe that's 1-1. I'm trying to remember the score now.
Yep, 1-1. Only actually getting away that time.
So one of the things about the matchup is when Shoals has meter and when she doesn't. When she doesn't have meter, so that's the very first round, Kung Pao can use her long kick to basically bully Shoals and take a round. Dr. Shoals has to find a way to build that at least one kick of meter so that it will activate her air special, and she's not as vulnerable because she has the possibility for one reset and 2 different sets of kicks in the air. Capconian has activated kick factor, which removes his startup from the kick. Normally you'll see the knees come up before she kicks. That will be gone when she has kick factor. Oh, for a very fast kick, just like that.
Yeah, it makes her a lot scarier because it's really one of the actual balancing factors for this character. Because you see, most dive kicks in the game, like the average character's dive kick, actually does start up in 1 frame. But not every character is like that, and Shoals is one of those characters who actually does have some startup to her dive kick. However, whenever she gets kick factor, the startup window goes away, which actually makes her kick factor uniquely very scary because she can still kind of tap into a little bit of her meter to do hover cancels if she really wants to, and it gives her so much more precision over her movement on top of the height leverage she already has.
That was a great reversal by Sneezeward there. Getting hunted down as concussed, but concussing Dr. Shoals instead.
Yep. Actually getting a really clean and proper punish for the overextension from Capconian there.
One of the things about Dr. Shoals is that when she jumps, she has a very high minimum kick height, and so you'll notice that she's never like jumping and then kicking right from the low to the ground. She always has to jump a certain height before she can start kicking, and that leaves a space right in front of her that she just can't kick. Obviously, when she does get kick factor, that does change out that scenario. That space is no longer safe.
Yeah. So every character in this game doesn't actually have like a minimum height at which they can perform a kick, like the soonest window that they can actually activate their dive kick from. And that's another kind of subtle, like, balancing design feature that comes with characters in this game. So knowing where that minimum height is and kind of knowing, like, basing your approach and, like, some of your spacing around that can actually be a pretty good way to refine your knowledge of the game. Because even if it's not a situation where, like, even if it's kind of a thing where, like, you can't get under or over a character as a result of it, it's still a good thing to know because, I mean, obviously, like, doing a dive kick with minimum height is going to be great for building meters in general. And so understanding that spacing where you can capitalize on that and potentially punish someone for just, like, trying to get too, like, greedy with meter building or approaching or something like that can be very, very handy.
Alright, I really gotta keep track of these matches. I'd like to be a little bit more hype when that last round comes on. But looks like we're gonna try to step into our next match here. Let's see. We've got, I think it's OberKy?
Yep, so it looks like we got OberKy and Laitome. So we have Jefailey versus Kenny.
It looks like they're already in their lobby. Let me double check to make sure they're ready to stream. Alright, I gave them the go-ahead. We'll see if we can get them on here. Looks like Capconian will be sitting in winner's bracket waiting for the challenger to step up from losers.
This is not the situation.
And I think we're gonna have a Kenny Jefailey, or looks like a Jefailey mirror, maybe?
You're gonna have a mirror?
Okay.
Really? Okay.
So Ubersaw, who was trying to participate in this tournament, he calls this the only 4-4 mirror in all of fighting games.
The mirror is a 6-4 matchup?
It's a 4-4 matchup, he said.
Oh lord. It's even worse. Now, the interesting thing here is that, as you probably noticed, both players actually picked different gems, which can actually change even the dynamics of a mirror quite a bit. And that's in like any mirror in this game. So I can't say that I know enough about the Jefailey mirror to say really like which one is better. But
it really depends
like...
on the play style. Kick gives you a little bit more reach, but the height is definitely paramount in this game. Once you get heads, they give you that height advantage, and the more heads you have as Kick, the better it's going to be, but you start off at a disadvantage. So playing the Kick is a little bit riskier, but it pays off if you can get that head advantage.
Right.
I think I ended up playing a meter gem one. I don't recommend playing the meter gem for this matchup, but I did find myself getting hit factor a lot more.
That's kind of funny. So, this is probably a good opportunity to talk a little bit more about the gems in this game. So, as you guys probably noticed, there's 4 different gems that you can pick from, which it's supposed to be kind of like a joke reference to like gems in Street Fighter Cross Tekken from back in the day, because it was relevant at the time. But you can kind of think of them as like different styles or like groups from like CVS2. It's like they're like small bonuses that you can kind of give.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick because that was a very good chase down by Laitome, pushing Ober in the corner and securing that final win.
Yeah, that's actually no, it's okay. It's actually just very good aggression, kind of capitalizing on, like, you know, again, just when Jefailey's head grows so much and then you kind of get clocked with a headshot. You know, the limits to his mobility make it,
Very good start from OberKy here.
But anyway, so like the main gems that you see people pick are either Dive Gem or Kick Gem, and you know, Dive Gem naturally increases the height at which you jump, and the Kick Gem actually increases your kick velocity, which is actually like an attribute that characters have in like the code of the game. So it increases the speed of your kick, which therefore increases like how soon you land, how like fast you go along your angle, which in a way, by proxy, increases the rate at which you build meter, since, you know, when you kick faster, you land sooner, which means you can kick more frequently.
Correct.
So really, you can kind of think of it as a difference between, do you want to have access to greater height advantage than you normally would have, which is very valuable for some characters and not as much for others, or do you want to have access to better whiff punishing capability, potentially better aggression, and better meter building?
That was a good under by Laitome there. You noticed that OberKy was a little bit high, got underneath and behind, and was able to secure a headshot.
And
hopefully,
now,
he can ride it out. We'll see if he can get that
well,
approach.
now he's got to get kick factor. So
oh
it's
no,
gonna be
yeah.
a lot easier.
Oh no.
I say that, and then
the double-edged sword of kick factor is, it's really hard to take a small step. You have to take a big, long kick every time, and trying to set up too close and gets countered for it.
And OberKy actually reversing the momentum pretty cleanly there.
I believe that's 1-1.
That's a surprisingly common situation when you play this game, where somebody is like in a concussed state and the other person gets kick factor, until the person who gets kick factor is like, oh, well, I mean, I got this, like, this is free. But it's surprisingly very easy to put yourself in a situation where you overextend as a result of that. And despite the limited mobility of being in like a concussed state, like, you know, you can still whiff punish people for overextending right directly into your space very easily.
we have Laitome switching back to his original character, Kenny. And in the tournament, the rules for character switching are you can choose a blind pick for the first round, for the first match of the set, but after that, winner has to keep their character, and loser may change their character, and they also get to pick their gem last on request.
Yeah.
To basically give the loser a chance to counterpick the gem as well.
Yeah. So the loser is able to switch their gem if there is a character switch that comes into play.
Yeah, winner can still adjust their character or their gem for the loser's character pick, but must do so first.
Yeah. That's an interesting roll there from Laitome, you know, being in kick factor state and actually rolling Stream's kick, which gives him access to Stream's kick factor, which...
Oh, it does it again!
Oh, and actually getting it again.
Stream has what they call mini missiles during kick factor every 90 frames, which is a second and a half. They'll be loaded, ready to fire, and this basic action like a jump or a kick will fire them out. With Kenny, they come out as holy arrows. Oh, great timer scam by Jefailey.
OberKy actually using timer scam for its intended purpose.
That's just one round. We'll see if he can pull the rest out for the choke. Oh no! Laitome using that spirit bullet delay, having that height advantage, and using the bullet to just see where things go, and ends up right on top for the kill.
Yep. It's a very tricky situation for Jefailey to be in, dealing with kind of S-Kill's natural defensiveness, and then Laitome just kind of holding the line, knowing that he has like such a significant round advantage. And it's a double KO there. That's just a testament to how crazy good the hitbox in Jefailey's kick is.
Oh, Laitome with that Shoals Spirit Bullet setup, getting the bullet out there to reset the kick and finding the corner kill.
Disqualified! Ooh, Laitome actually getting over the disqualified there. For those who don't know, Jefailey's air special of disqualified, if you get hit by the word that's traveling across the screen, it actually drains all of your meat. One cool feature that didn't actually apply to earlier versions of the game too is that Jefailey can actually cancel his kick into disqualified and then kick afterwards.
I like how they're just demonstrating what you're talking about here.
Yep, exactly. Laitome just losing all of his meter because he landed right into it.
Was able to secure the headshot though, and turns it into one more win.
Yep. Maybe you squeeze up that extra round. Not quite able to continue the headshot chain, but still getting a nice little advantage here in this round.
Oh, gets the kick right before bullet comes out. Bullet glitches a little bit.
Yep. Now, conveniently, Laitome's still not really losing all of the meter from that, but oh wow. I'm surprised that he did not land into that.
So Kenny's less used special, his ground bullets. I don't believe that was intentional by Laitome. I believe that he tried to press DK too fast on the ground, and sometimes you end up triggering your special if you press it too fast. It's a very cool interaction that we just saw. OberKy tried to do his air special, and when you do that, the disqualified actually killed all of Kenny's meter, and thus the spirit bullet ended up disappearing, and he was able to get it to go away, but ended up getting killed in the corner, unfortunately, to end the round.
Laitome actually getting the last bit of chase down there that he needed to close this out, and
that was a good set, good set from him.
Yeah. With that, Laitome's going to move on to losers finals against Sneezelord. So Laitome having to run the Jefailey gauntlet to try to get a chance to potentially fight Capconian up in grand finals, but I'm sure Sneezelord is fiending for that run back right now.
All right, let's move on over. So we've got Sneezelord and Laitome next. All right, let me pull them up on stage. Alright, looks like we're almost ready to go. Alright, let me let them know they're ready.
Good. So losers finals. Laitome versus Sneaselord. This is definitely this is something I would have not been surprised to see even back in the old days. I mean, we had a large collection of very good players back in the day, but I mean, you know, Laitome was again, like alongside Easkell, Laitome was definitely like one of the most notable Kenny players basically since then. And I mean, Sneaselord, you know, back when he was known as HDiz, I'd say he very quickly emerged as like probably the strongest Jefailey that the community ever really had. So this is an old school match for the ages for sure, with two very interesting characters that probably don't see as much play outside of an environment like this. Sneaselord actually building a very large chunk of meter in this first round here, already with kick factor. Wow, excellent patience on the part of Sneaselord there. Not getting overly intimidated by just the angle of the homing bullet. It does home, but it doesn't home quite that aggressively. So if you're really cognizant of your spacing, you can kind of play the patient game and be able to avoid it. But Laitome actually getting a nice little whiff punish there.
Yeah, he was really understanding that charge distance. It's something you need to know if you're playing against a very good Jefailey. You got to understand how much charge he has and how far he can actually reach.
Yep. Laitome trying to survive a little bit of scroll life. Oh, and the Godfoot. You know, for the fact that Laitome doesn't even play Markman, it impresses me how frequently he gets that.
Sometimes, oh, he does. Okay, so when you are Markman Kenny, you tend to do a high jump into a kick because you know it's safe once you have Spirit Bullet, and I think he's just trying to set up that Spirit Bullet attack, and he just happens to hit it. And sometimes it comes out and gets him a kill. Other times I've seen it happen and him getting killed by it because he went way too fast.
Yeah. And that last kick there from Laitome, I'm actually surprised that like Laitome actually just like clean won that exchange.
That's 1-0 for Laitome.
Granted, you know, as infamous as I've talked about the size of the hitbox of Jefailey's kick, Stream's kick is definitely way up there on the scale as well. It's actually nerfed from old versions of the game because Vanilla Stream was something else, but.
Sneaselord using that disqualified to stay in the air just a little bit longer and get that punish.
Yeah, so that's a nice feature of disqualified in this version of the game as compared to older ones, is because you can actually use it to cancel a kick and then do a kick afterwards. You can actually use it to alter your air trajectory quite a bit more than you would have been able to previously, which actually makes it a very good tool even outside of just using it to attempt to take away someone's meter.
Oh man, we saw the double Jefailey stare down there, both charging and then letting go of their charge before kicking. I thought one of them was actually going to use it.
That was actually a very nice bold move from Laitome there, really encroaching in on Sneaselord's space when, you know, that's the kind of situation where it's like you're really betting that they're actually just going to hesitate. But Sneaselord kind of bringing back the momentum very quickly, getting kick factor, but Laitome's only one kick away. Spending it on the homing bullet instead.
I think he put actually a ground bullet down, hoping that Jefailey would kick into it, but Jefailey trying to line up some disqualified, missing, and getting punished for the headshot.
Yeah, that was actually that was again a nice, like a really smart bit of patience from Laitome, kind of recognizing that he got the hit from the Spirit Bullet, but knew that he had to kind of wait to get the positioning for the headshot. But Sneaselord actually reversing the momentum very quickly. So we're seeing a lot of like actually really like these are truly high level plays that are happening like just very early on in this set. Laitome actually rolling dive for this first round here, which was theoretically helping him to build meter very quickly, but Sneaselord just immediately taking away that advantage. Very nice patience. Good whiff punish from Sneaselord.
That was Stream stance. Stream is a double jump character. You'll notice that whenever you see Kenny with wings, he can be two possible characters. That's Shoals and Stream.
Oh, yeah, that's a difficult situation to be in. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if he was trying to even do the ground ball just to alter his hurtbox enough to avoid a guaranteed headshot situation, but right now we're actually potentially going to see the rare total domination. Sneaselord looking for the opportunity, not getting too greedy with a little bit of kickback red left, and there it is.
Domination. Total domination
My
is 5
goodness.
headshots in a row. Jefailey is probably the highest number, the highest character who has the highest amount of total dominations just because of his huge head. But Sneaselord able to dish one out on his own.
Yeah, total domination and a fraud.
I believe that's 1-2 matches in favor of Sneaselord.
Yeah, powerful statement from Sneaselord here. Nice, good bit of patience from Laitome and the whiff punish accordingly.
I see Laitome rolling plenty of Jefailey. Okay, I'm gonna explain this move for the audience here. Kenny, as Jefailey, Jefailey doesn't normally have a kick cancel that is very quick, and so when he gets his boom kicks at kick factor, Laitome canceled his original short kick and got the first kick of his kick factor, which allowed him a boom kick. And it's a common tactic whenever you see a Kenny running Jefailey.
See, that's what I thought that happened, but I wasn't entirely sure. And so, seeing that he actually did that and having the cognizance for that, to me, that's really impressive. That's proof of mastery of the character right there.
Yeah, as a Kenny player myself, I play a lot of characters, and Kenny is one of my favorites because of the variety he provides. That's a tactic you always look for when you're running Jebailey. Oh, great hit on the DQ, but gets a headshot for payment. Oh no.
Yeah. Laitome not being intimidated by the loss of meter there. I mean, just being able to roll shoals in that situation, very favorable for him.
Ooh, double KO.
What a good trade.
I think Sneasler will take that. He was concussed in that situation, so you'll take a trade in that situation for sure.
I would take that too. It's as much as chasing people down in concussed state can snowball into a bad situation or reversal of momentum, it's still very common to just straight up lose at least one round.
I believe that's 2-2, so we're going into the hype last game of the match. Or last game of the set.
Here we go. Game 5, Losers Finals.
Another Jefailey roll for Kenny.
Me getting an early meter advantage here, but...
Oh no!
Goodness.
Losing it. Ouch, ouch.
Yeah, but spacing gets really scary in the mirror, and Laitome is kind of taking the unfortunate move. Sneaselord not chasing him too aggressively, but Laitome actually getting the right spacing there.
I think Sneaselord was going for the low kick there, but just let it out a little too late, ended up landing, having to readjust and not being able to do so.
Yeah, that's
great dodge though, great dodge.
Laitome tends to play the stream roll very aggressively, which is understandable when someone's in a concussed state, but Stream definitely tends to excel as more of like I would say a defensive character. And if people are deliberately running away from you, you really have to temper your approach a bit.
Stream does have the capability for the chase down though, with the fact that you can steer his kick. One of the points I wanted to bring up earlier about the low kick that we talked about for Jefailey's is that when you're trying to low kick Kenny, you got to go even lower because of his height. So that's going to play well into this matchup.
Oh yeah, that's a rough situation to be in. You think you have the advantage because you have Stream cornered? No, it's exactly the opposite.
Stream can play well out of the corner. Oh man, getting that set up. Is he going to get the hit? Ooh, gets out.
Sneaselord dodging his potential fate from the homing bullet there. And,
as S-Kill, Kenny doesn't have much. Gets the pause and the headshot. What Sneasler had to do was he had to get the tap on the foot, but that also allows Laitome to try to react to see if that happens. Fortunately, he tries to go above, gets frozen, and we're at the last round for this set. We got Shoals. Oh no, the short kick.
Getting our true double Luigi for the tournament, and Laitome is perfectly utilizing the extra bit of spacing from the homing bullet there to secure the game.
If Sneaselord had just a little bit more of charge, he would have been able to hit Kenny out of that that bullet activation. It was a very, very close game. Hats
Yeah,
off to
wow.
both players. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was a very, very good game. But that's the kind of stuff I remember seeing like all the time, you know, back when the dailies were so much more active and people were pulling out all this crazy stuff all the time. Like it's really, really cool to see that. Entering true high-level Divekick territory.
I'm gonna go ahead and just report the scores for them. Give me a second. Let's see.
And so with that, we're actually going to be moving on to grand finals, and Laitome actually crawling out. Take on Capconian. So it looks like from earlier in the bracket, Laitome actually got put into losers relatively early by Waasiq, and now he's crawled all the way out of the loser side of the bracket to make it to grand finals here to have his chance against the Shoals God. So we are very likely going to see Shoals versus Kenny for this last game. And I'm really curious about this match, because I mean, I've talked to Capconian a lot of different things with this game, and like, I've definitely heard his opinions and his feelings about a lot of matchups in this game, but I feel like I haven't really talked to him a whole lot about how this matchup goes, because I feel like this is relatively rare.
You're very fortunate, because I've played Capconian with this matchup plenty of times. It's definitely an even matchup. I usually run Dive Gem. I don't know what gem Laitome is going to be running, but it depends on the rolls that they get. Shoals can't get hit by... we're assuming it's going to be Shoals versus Kenny, but we don't know. But Shoals cannot get hit by the homing missile. Sorry, the homing bullet. She can actually put herself in a position where she can't be punished for it. So that can be a bit tough for Kenny to handle, but Kenny does have this height difference, and whenever Shoals is looking for a headshot, she has to adjust her aim from everyone else just to hit Kenny because he's so short.
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously not an expert on Kenny, but if it were me, I would probably, I can at least understand the logic behind picking Dive Gem against Shoals, because I mean, again, like, one of the things that Shoals is just so naturally good with is just having access to like that natural height advantage over a lot of other characters, and that height advantage tends to be really key for certain matchups, and considering that Kenny could potentially roll into any other character in the game, I mean, I guess it really just becomes a matter of, you know, what kind of gem would you normally want to pick for that character. And I feel like there are a lot of situations where not having that extra like height leverage from Dive Gem could probably end up being a bit more costly than not. But I can definitely see how it really depends on how you want to play the matchup, how you want to utilize the resources, things like that. So it looks like the players are getting ready here. And here we go. Start of grand finals for our first Divekick Infinite Open. Tony on the left with Shoals, Laitome on the right with Kenny.
Okay, I was muted the whole time, but I wanted to say that picking the kick gem is a viable gem. You do get better movement, but you do sacrifice some of that defensive height.
Laitome going with the kick option, that Capconian really early headshot in this first game. That is a thing that I know that Capconian does like to do every once in a while, is that he will definitely go for that aggressive high roll round start of sorts, just to kind of see how you respond and how you want to move.
It's pretty significant.
And I mean,
when Kenny is concussed, he stands up a bit, so his posture is a lot higher. That allows the chaining to begin.
Yeah. Laitome actually doing a pretty good job of getting away from that situation, but Capconian staring down the barrel of Kick Factor.
Oh, he's got a stream. This is going to be a little bit tough. We'll see if he can get out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rough.
Just not high enough. Just not high enough.
Potentially looking at a fraud for game 1. Capconian still got a healthy amount of meter, but Laitome has a chance to at least get a bullet out somewhere, potentially. But a little bit too difficult to get a healthy retreat there, rolling Jefailey on that round. So Capconian actually taking game 1 on a fraud. Very quick game 1.
I do have faith in Laitome to bring it back, though. We'll see what he can do in this next match.
I certainly do as well. I have no doubt that he could definitely bring this back, but I mean, that round starts really rough, like, especially against Shoals. Like, I mean, and again, that's what I mentioned before about Capconian, is that, like, you know, even though, like, sometimes the high roll round start can cost him, I think he understands that as much as it potentially is bad to get an early headshot himself, I think he's so confident in being able to loop concussion situations with Shoals that he's not afraid to make the high roll every once in a while just because he knows what it can lead to for a game.
Also, when you're playing as Kenny, Kenny is very meter hungry, and getting a headshot is almost it puts you back 2 rounds, because not only are you concussed for 1 round and you have to try to avoid a headshot, you also start the round off with no meter and have to work your way up to Spirit Bullet again.
Exactly.
And that's assuming you know who your character is, because every round you're a different character, and when you're concussed, that's sometimes the trouble.
Exactly, but now Laitome actually getting the headshot advantage and potentially taking it to a game-ending round here. But getting that S-kill roll is
it's not really the roll you want to see when you're trying to do a concussion approach. S-kill does not have the mobility or the attack threats when trying to close down and hunt down a concussed opponent.
Yeah,
this is not looking
good. Yeah, Capconian squeezing out that headshot, and now,
that was a redacted stance. Retreating is very hard as redacted. Redacted concussed is one of the characters you don't want to roll.
Yeah, that's as strong as redacted is as a character, I would argue that concussed redacted is probably the worst character in the game. And Kenny does not have access to the kind of evasive resources that Redacted would normally have to compensate for that, especially in this matchup.
Laitome is down 0-2 for his tournament life. Capconian is looking for the sweep to close out this first tournament. Oh, trying to line up that headshot, doesn't quite get it, but puts a round on the board.
Laitome fighting back here, trying to not turn this into a clean sweep, and now we're seeing a lot of Shoals mirrors.
Yeah, a lot of Shoals rolls.
Yep. Coming out on top, being able to have access to that homing
bullet. Got that stream roll.
Yeah, that's
unfortunately not high enough on that second jump.
Yeah, that's one of those. I feel like that's one of those rolls that you potentially get with Kenny that gets really hard when you don't have access to dive gem. But yeah, that's actually a very good preemptive attack on the kick factor activation, denying Capconian a lot of meter.
Gets hit out of the air of a S-kill stance. It's 3-3, very close.
Yep.
We have Kenny at kick factor as dive. This actually looks like a very good stance, because the height that dive can get is awesome, and great Spirit Bullet delay there.
Yeah, that
oh no, S-kill.
Homing bullet was a big play, but
oh,
very nice.
If anybody doesn't know, S-kill's kick factor changes all his jumps to teleport jumps, in which when he's off the screen, he's not hittable. As he disappears, there's some frames where you can hit him where he's invisible, but after that, you pretty much have to wait for him to reappear.
Yep. And
2-1, Laitome brings it back for 1 match. We'll see if he can close out the rest.
The notable thing about S-kill kick factor too is that the rate at which your meter drains is much slower than it would be with any other character.
Correct.
So, as painful as it can be to roll S-kill and not be able to chase people down, when you're in kick factor, you at least have a lot more of a window to potentially utilize something like a homing bullet or, like, even just a grounded spirit bullet to maintain your space.
Yeah, when I played Kenny, I used S-Kill as a... I try to tie the round. I get to the kick factor. The kick factor lasts 20 seconds, and S-Kill is very good at building meter, so you can build that meter, try to tie the round, and start next round with kick factor.
I mean, using homing bullet or like air spirit bullet like very well to try to stave off some of this offense, but now Capconian potentially capitalizing on a headshot here.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
I thought he was going to jump back there, instead moves forward, able to punish Shoals after going above. Again, going in from that concussed and non-concussed state, his head height does change. So, Stuck Shoals whiffing there and Kenny getting a kill. Looking to close out the second match to tie it up.
Laitome not getting intimidated by this momentum
Awesome,
from Capconian
awesome.
and a great punish.
We're at 2-2. If Laitome
Just
can...
like that, when I was
Okay.
starting to look like a bit of a sweep here, Laitome just very quickly reversing the momentum, playing the aerial game very well here.
If Laitome is able to win this match, he can reset the bracket. Capconian hasn't lost yet in this tournament, so he has to beat him twice. Capconian starts off with the first round win, though. We got a Shoals versus Shoals again. Laitome getting a lot of Shoals rolls this match. Ooh,
Yeah.
gets in that kick, ties up the round.
Playing the Shoals mirror type situation very well, just having access to the... Oh, very nice.
Shoals mirror again, but this time badly timed Spirit Bullet there, gets punished for it.
Yeah.
Sensei is a
Capconian
very good roll.
recognizing- Yeah.
Sensei having that extra jump height is pretty good against Shoals.
Yes. Very good. Oh, here we go again.
Look to see a Spirit Bullet cancel. It's out. Oh. Capconian successfully avoids, but finds himself in the corner. And Shoals, when you're in Shoals stance, your kick down into that corner is very strong.
Yeah.
Does not
Capconian
capitalize
trying
on
really
this
hard to change his approach to deal with Laitome when he has access to like homing bullet when that Shoals mirror keeps coming up, but I mean didn't quite pay off initially, but Capconian's still managing to stifle any bit of momentum that Laitome's trying to capitalize on here. And Kenny rolling redacted, I'm sure Capconian understands those interactions very well, but Kenny does not have the benefit of Feral Stance to help him out in that situation.
Capconian with a turnaround to seal the victory. And, that was a great set, guys. Laitome, valiant effort on trying to bring that set back. Unfortunately, did not come to pass.
Still a very good set. A lot of adjustments being made, like at almost instant speed on both sides. It's really crazy to see just how much things change over the course of even like a few rounds of this game. There are so many micro adjustments that happen that the one thing that I really love about this game is that, you know, as fast as those adjustments have to happen, it's so noticeable when they do. And there's so much bouncing back and forth in real time to make things happen. And, you know, especially when, you know, you have someone playing a character like Kenny where you have to adjust to a different character every round. Just a lot of really cool high-level stuff happening. Laitome definitely putting up a hell of a fight after, you know, getting put into losers early, but Capconian still maintaining his streak, not dropping a game this tournament and coming out in first place for our first Open.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to see if we can get the participants for the match to come in, maybe do a quick interview. Give me a sec. Let me see if I can hunt down Lai and Capconian to give us their thoughts on the whole tournament.
Cool.
I've been here the whole time. No one knew it.
Hey, Cap. We'll see if Lai can go off of Deafen.
This chat room takes me back.
So, Lai and Cap, can you guys introduce yourselves, starting with Lai and then Cap next?
I am Laitome. I main Kenny.
Go ahead,
That's
Capconian.
it?
I forgot I have the
That's
stream
fine.
on, so it's really weird.
Okay, yeah, you might
Just,
want to turn
just
the
mute
sound
the
off.
stream and yeah.
And yeah, I don't really know what else. I took second at Combo Breaker. That Argon Rust won.
I remember that tournament. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, Cap, you want to do a quick intro?
Hello. My name is Capconian. I usually play like Guilty Gear and Anime Fighters and like other stuff, but Divekick is like the one game that got me like really motivated into getting like better in other stuff. I also, when I can, I try to sneak Divekick in side tournaments in majors. So like in Frosties, the ITO, the Divekick tournament, and so forth. I am what they call a shoals specialist because I basically just play shoals except for like 2 matchups, which I play like Diver Kung Pao.
All right, so this question for Laitome. How did you find the tournament? Any special moments that you remember from your matches today?
Getting TD'd
Can you
on stream.
explain that again for people who don't know what TD is?
I got total domination and frauded simultaneously. And total domination is when you get headshotted 5 times in a row, and a fraud is when you lose 5 times in a row without ever winning one. Yeah.
I'm pretty
I
sure that
also
was
got
a.
to flex my Jefailey matchup knowledge.
I'm pretty sure that was a hype moment for our viewers to watch as well. Capconian.
Yeah, you weren't expecting that mirror, were you?
Capconian. Same question. Your thoughts?
Every single Jefailey mirror.
So wait,
There
you
were-
didn't participate in those ones, but you're saying just watching the Jefailey mirrors have
Yes.
been awesome for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you talking about the matches I played or the tournament overall?
Anything you would like to say. If you wanna focus on something from yours or focus on other people's play as well, that's open to you.
The only thing I want to add is that I noticed that Arya was asking about my thoughts on the Kenny Scholes. I think Kenny Scholes is Kenny favored.
Yeah,
Right? And
it is.
Okay.
You wanna
so
give
wanna-
details?
The roles in general are favored towards Kenny.
Mhm.
Once again, but those are roles, but generally it's favorable. Particularly brothers, sensei, and are great stances, but I didn't really ever capitalize on them. Well, except for brothers, I did capitalize on that during our match.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, especially kick. You did amazingly well. Whenever you got kicked, you were like under me, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically my take is imagine playing the best version of almost every character because you have to remember that Kenny's hitbox on his head is a little bit more forward. So I have to either make him back turn, which is a risk to me because if I just kick a little bit over the angle, I overshoot and I die. And I think you guys saw that one when I kicked it in the corner. Or I undershoot and I still get headshotted.
Yeah, definitely. Kenny's height can make it hard for Scholes to hunt down the kill.
Yep. Also, another thing is Kenny has infinite pauses, like infinite. Oh my god, I don't.
He has the ability to do a delay. The longer he uses that ability, the more it'll drain. If it comes out, he'll actually lose all his meter. But if he's able to not let the bullet come out, the meter won't drain, and he could save that for another jump.
Yep, and he can do it as many times as he wants. Or was that patched?
No,
I believe what you're referring to is the infinite stream flight bug.
Yes,
that was patched.
That's
a while
patched.
ago.
That was patched. Yeah, that's no longer in the game.
because that spirit cancel that's air spirit cancel makes stream and shows better than the original characters only because of extensions.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that I believe that is true. Once Kenny does have spirit bullets, having a bullet out and a Shoals kick is pretty awesome. But getting up to that point where getting the meter for a single cancel is still some work that they have to do. And unfortunately, as Shoals, you can't punch it as well as other characters can. So I can see your
Yep.
point of view from Shoals' side.
Also, referring to stream chat here, Ober, that bug where there multiple bullets came out, that's a weird bug where if you hit me like right on the frame I fire, it just machine guns.
Yeah, there are some glitches when the round ends when something happens. There's been like you'll notice that sometimes if you do a headshot right as kick factor appears, it'll look like the cameraman who's filming the match gets tackled and he'll fall to the ground and the camera will like bounce on the floor until it settles. But also when that spirit bullet happened, I think it was during the kick factor activation and a round end at the same time. Have you guys all experienced the cameraman tackle? I've seen it plenty of times.
It's happened with me a lot, like a lot.
It's a
I haven't seen
classic.
that one in a while.
Yeah, that's I think with Redacted it definitely happens because how fast her kick is. So getting that kick factor and the kick at the same time to land does happen a lot. I think I've also seen Jefailey's head. If you get his timer scam and a headshot at round end with kick factor, you'll see him get like a broken head where it like flops around. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that.
Yes, the bobblehead glitch.
Yeah, the bobblehead Jefailey. It's a pretty funny scene.
Oh my god.
Hopefully we'll have a match where that happens and we can put it onto the internet for eternity. Laitome, any closing thoughts or things you'd like to say?
Fun tournament, everyone. Fun tournament. I might have lost my dignity, but at least I made it to finals.
Not at all, not at all. You performed pretty well, and it was fun to see you play.
And
Capconian?
congratulations, Capconian.
Oh, yeah, Capconian, your final thoughts?
Play more Divekick. Please join us for next time. It's great playing Divekick again. Honestly, it's real great.
I do want to give thanks to Arjun Ross who kind of just hopped on and helped me commentate. Actually did most of the bulk of the work. We had Cap and Ober helping me out with stream things, and everyone in the Discord trying to help me facilitate the tournament. It was running a little bit late, and I apologize. I hope to get all of this settled up by next time so we can get it running on time. Unfortunately we were 30 minutes late today, and I wanted to try to avoid that for the future.
Yeah, it's all good. There's always growing pains and learning curves and stuff like that. And for me personally, I'm just happy to see that this is even a thing. Like the fact that we have like people watching, like stuff is happening. Like, there's stuff in the future for like more stuff like this to potentially happen. Like, it's cool to see something like this after like so long of just feeling like there was kind of like a lot of nothing. So. I'm personally really optimistic about it.
OberKy, I know you're on mute, but you've been in the cast. If you want to unmute and give your thoughts or say something, I'd definitely like to thank you for helping me out. So yeah, get your word in here and definitely plug it. I don't know if you guys can add it in chat, but check out OberKy's stream. You can check the VODs for the dive mirror tournament that we did, and some kind of like casual matches afterwards. And he also does a bunch of variety streaming, so check him out.
I'll have to correct you on one thing. Sadly,
okay.
the VOD is currently unavailable.
Oh
but
no!
It will be up on YouTube soon.
Okay.
My apologies about that. But first of all,
there might still be a link in our video one. Does that not work when you click on it in our Discord chat?
I'll have to check.
That's okay. Don't check it here. Go ahead and continue. We'll check that out later.
All right. Well, either way, thank you again for hosting and this time also streaming this. My apologies. I also couldn't get to set up things on time, so I am at least partially to blame about.
No, I think you were ready, but I had it like almost working, and I got you to help me out to get it finally working, and so.
Was a bit.
You were ready, man. Don't worry. You don't have to take any of the fault there. That was all me.
By the way, I did want to add something. You two did amazing commentary, and I would love to hear it again for next time.
Right? I think Argon also did a very fine job.
Thank you.
What you meant?
I appreciate that.
Thank you
You
very
know,
much.
yeah.
Arjun Rust, you are welcome to come on for next stream, and hopefully we can get that worked out.
hmm
Yeah, for
Either
sure.
way,
And
I
hopefully in the future I'll actually be able to compete if I'm, properly rested and not just like drowning in work. So
That sounds awesome. Ober, sorry to interrupt your podium here, but I want to give you the
that's
podium.
I'm not looking forward to Argon joining the tournaments, but I'm happy to have more.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I need this.
He was an
I've been
absolute
out for
beast.
blood for a while now,
Oh,
so
I can't wait. All right. Well, I had a blast playing my games. It was great. Thank you very much to everyone participating and watching again. Yeah, I can't wait for more.
All right, so thank you again, Ober. Similar to last stream, though, I might do some casual matches after a small break here. I'll probably hop into Arcade 1 in the Discord, and anybody wants to jump in and play some matches, let me know. But with that, thank you guys, and if you guys choose to stick around, love to have you. I'm gonna take a 5-minute break. We'll leave the stream on if you guys want to continue chatting, but I need to use the restroom right now, so I'll see you guys in a little bit.
All right. Goodbye,
yeah.
everyone.
For my part, I'm desperate for some food right now, so I'm gonna dip personally. But I'll be back around for sure. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll
you
see
too.
y'all on my end. I'll see y'all around.
All right, later, guys.
Feel around.
All right, looks like people had to go, so I'm going to switch over to Arcade 1 now. It'll be a minute.
You.
Oh, it looks like we got Optimus Tuna in here. Um, Let me set up. I'm not sure if the stream can hear you just now because I still have to set up this particular window.
Oh, you had a different channel for the other voice?
Yeah. Give me a sec. Let me see if it'll pick it up.
Are you still streaming? I noticed you got it set up.
Yeah, still streaming.
Testing?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just trying to think if I'm gonna stream the
Oh,
game
okay.
or the chat, because then if I stream the chat, then you can hear us talking. It might be better to set up the chat so you can hear the talking. But the problem is, I don't know if I can do that and watch. If you can get the game up, I'll share your stream, and then I won't share my game.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, you know what?
You're
Actually,
just sharing Discord, basically?
I do see the desktop audio going, so maybe that'll actually work. So I'll just get my game up and stream that. Steam, where are you? Are you not even open? Okay, I guess Steam's not even open. How you doing, Optimus? Did you actually watch the tournament?
I caught a good amount. I
Okay.
saw a lot of shoals, some Kung shoals, a lot of Jefailey, a lot of Kenny.
Hey, Laitome, how you doing?
Ugh.
That was a pretty good match. You got all the way to finals on, and I thought you were gonna get swept, but you brought it back for a very, very chilling finale there. Don't know if I can quite hear you, Lai.
Nope, I just wasn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
It was a pretty good time I played, all in all.
Mhm. All right, I'm gonna show my cast here as well, but I'll try to get it on the stream as well. Oh my god, that's so loud. Let me change that volume.
Thinking of a back-to-back Jefailey. Also, was not
I
expecting to take the Jefailey mirror off of Ober.
I did not expect you to pick Jefailey at all. We were both surprised. It was like, what is this? There's a Jefailey mirror. What made you want to pick the Jefailey mirror?
Just to put on a good show.
That thank you.
I fully expected to lose round one, but I figured, hey, it'd at least be entertaining to watch. And then I won game one, and I almost won game two.
I mean, I'm still always entertained during a Jefailey mirror, so I would not say no to a Jefailey mirror.
And then when I switched to Kenny, like I get like 5 Jefailey stances in a single game. Ugh. You know, I was really confused when he kept on saying Jefailey mirror. Like, do you mean like actual Jefailey mirrors, or do you mean me against a Jefailey with Jefailey stance?
No. You picking the character Jefailey.
Okay.
Yeah. I did not expect that at all. Optimus, let me just trying to get that scene set up. All right, let's add a source.
Do you end up using OBS?
Yes. We'll call this Divekick game. Okay, I think that works. Does this need to be... I don't know if any of you guys are still in stream, because let me know if you can hear the audio on it.
Just turn it off so I don't
Yeah, I
get...
can open it back up.
Yeah, let me know if you can hear the audio. There's no music right now, but I'm gonna keep the menu moving.
Oh, jeez.
Not hearing the game at the moment. Ober is actually in chat. Thank you, Ober. Let's figure out how to get this to work now. Oh, actually, you know what? Can I watch my own stream? Actually, Optimus, I guess I'm gonna play with you. Can you stream it from yours, and maybe I'll just watch it from there. Watch their stream. Pop out. Arcade. Sorry, guys. Back to amateur hour, of course. Even though we haven't left amateur hour, this is amateur hour extended.
Thanks, so you can't stream your own audio?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can do my own audio there. Gotta make it a little smaller. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out another day. But for now, we'll just have this one up. All right, sweet. And go ahead and do you want to be first player or second player, Tuna?
I'll join you.
Okay, I'll create a lobby then. Laitome, you have a preference on the character I play?
No.
Go ahead and look for. You have to search the room again. It won't. I don't think it'll autofill. You have to actually come back in. Go back in. Yeah, there you go. Sweet.
Select your character.
Let me know if you guys are getting double audio in chat. I'm gonna go random.
Break out before you get bum run.
I guess it's kick.
Select your gems.
Ah, do I do the dive gem or do the kick gem? Let's do the kick gem.
Select your duds.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to figure this out because I'm getting double audio while I play, but that's okay.
Yes, from above. Round one. Dive kick. Round two. Dive kick.
Oops, a little too close, a little too close.
Round three. Dive kick.
Yeah, a little bit awkward over. Hopefully I can figure it out next time. Oh crap, that Kung jump's really high with kick factor.
Round four. Dive kick. Round five. Dive kick.
Not fast enough to catch that. Guess I'll have to get my air special to do that.
Six. Dive kick. Round seven. Dive kick.
Gotta watch out for that ground. Might pop you up here and there.
Round eight. Dive kick. Kick.
Tricky.
So it actually has a pretty good range. So if you're on the ground when I happen to do it, it will pop you up. You can still use your specials while you're in the air. So you could enter a portal to try to get out of it.
Yeah, I was too low. I got immediately into the kick while I was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Timing
yes.
was not ideal.
Sometimes if you're already pressing kick for the kickback, like in your movement.
Yeah, I just got a quick kick back basically.
Yeah. Ooh, thought I had that, but
Like the littlest little hop you can imagine.
yeah. Just trying to punish your movement here. Kick is pretty good at ground movement.
Round four.
What if I could get a easier kill and not spend any meter? Alright, didn't kick that time. Guess I'll have to do it closer. Oh, I'm getting ready for the headshot. Totally whiffed.
Fraud detection warning. Fraud detection warning.
Round six.
Oh no. I totally thought you had me, Optimus.
It was close.
Fraud detected.
For those on stream, we have Optimus Tuma in the game. Thankfully sharing his screen so you guys can get sound. Can I focus on the stream? Or does it... Oh, you know what? Let's do it like this. 1 second. Gonna make it a little bit bigger for everyone else. There you go. Alright, ready, Optimus?
Yes, from above.
Laitome, have you ever played Kick before?
Round 1. Dive kick.
Yeah, you can join the call, over. We're all in Arcade 1.
Yeah, I played Kenny, so technically I do play Kick.
I'm talking about Kick with Party Starter. I'm wondering how much use you've seen of it.
I remember when Party Starter was like absolute garbage.
Uh-huh.
Because like it would be like impossible to actually get a punish off it. Now I know it's a lot better ever since AE. My main gripe with Kick is that he's very low for his angle.
Round 4.
On the other hand, he has the best footsies in the game. Like maybe only Gat is better.
I mean, so I still think it's hard to land because you have to read the pattern of their movement and catch them.
Yeah, you're also relying on catching them on the ground.
Yeah. It's still a very... And it's still tough to
tight.
punish. You don't get it at the right distance, you won't be able to punish it.
Yeah. And also, if they just don't do anything, you can't really punish if you're too far.
Oh, yeah. If you have to be able to hit their landing, and Dive Gem can definitely help with that, but...
But then you lose out on your speed, which is the most important thing in Milk Kick.
Exactly. I can see playing Dive Kick, sorry, Dive Gem Kick, but it really depends. Ooh, that's kick factor so fast. Nice round, Optimus.
Yeah, nice.
I'm trying to punish your kick in, but a little too slow.
Yeah, Kick is overall solid. He's just the issue is that like Dive illustrates its point perfectly by being a lot slower, but so much higher, and is high tier. While Kick is widely considered to be one of the lower tier characters.
I think it has a lot to do with the fact that Kick's ground game is good. It's all low, and so he doesn't have the option to headshot chain like the other characters do. So that's a big fault for him. Also, he can get headshot chained himself a lot easier than other characters.
Although Concussed Kick can actually like move forward at a frightening speed.
This is true, but still, I'd rather still be able to survive more.
Yeah. But there are several times as Kenny where I've been able to just catch people out because I'm concussed, so they think they can just bully me, and then I just smash Kick forward. And then all of a sudden, before they know it, I'm right in their face.
I like the patience, Optimus. I'm like trying to punish you for coming in, but you never did. Alright, I'll take it. I'll take
what you're talking about, Lai. Definitely didn't experience that.
it. Too fast. I gotta lighten up on my presses there. Oh no. Alright. Gotta figure out the spacing. I think we'll play sets now because we got a quarter on the machine from Ober.
Sure.
I think that was 2-1. You got leading in the set?
What are you, like, best of 5?
Yeah, best of 5.
Yes, from above. Round 1. Dive kick.
So as kick, I'm trying to look for that pattern where you step forward with a kick. If I can land in front of you, I can do a jump up and leverage my height. Oh, that was the perfect moment if I got my jump off. I got a little too close though. That's a good kick factor. It's gonna be somewhat strong. God, kick is so fast.
Yeah, he is.
Round 5. Dive kick. Round 6 dive kick. Paper. Kick.
Alright, tying it up 2-2. I think there's two schools of thought, at least for this matchup with Kick. I want to either use my meter for Party Starter, or I can save it up for Kick Factor. New Angle can be used once in a while, but I like to go Party Starter earlier to threaten it, and then hopefully that'll give me enough space to build up to Kick Factor.
Yes, from above. Round 1 dive kick.
Oh, tried to read that kick, but too late on punish. A little too late.
I didn't make it in.
Yeah. We were talking about that on stream as well.
I was in my match against Savvy.
Round 3 dive.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't know if that was the exact one, but yeah, I remember that happening. Like you hit it and then you just ended up standing on the ground.
Where on stream, like where a Kung Portal was too low.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think that was it. It was your match.
Round 5 dive kick.
God, that special looks awesome.
That was brutal, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oops. GG.
GG, good set. Ober, if you could stream it when you get on, I'll... Do you want me to join your lobby?
I don't have one up right now, but can be arranged.
Okay, yeah, yeah. And then I'll jump into yours and then we'll switch that. I'll have to figure out how to get all the audio working next time.
Right.
Alright, gonna watch...
Tournament gonna be about every 2 weeks, by the way, or?
Like I said, it's all by ear, depending on when I get time. I'm gonna try to make it somewhat sooner than later, because gotta ride the people are interested and people are active. Then we'll do it again.
Okay. Because after next week, I'll be on vacation for 3 weeks, so we'll have to see what I can do for you.
Yeah, I'll definitely try to give at least 1 to 2 weeks ahead notice for the tournament itself.
Okay.
So.
Select your character.
All right, Optimus or Lie, shout out a character for me. At the 5 seconds, I'll go random.
3 minutes of playtime.
Optimus or Lie? No?
As
As oh, let's see if I get to him.
Sounds like
Oh,
smooth man.
just on time.
Just on
then.
time.
God, what do you take in this matchup? I'm guessing Dive's probably better.
Select your duds.
I remember some pretty good bass players back in the day, but I
Yes,
forgot who that
bravo.
was.
It was not me. That's all I can
the
tell you.
Barrelists.
That was Gunther. Axum was also good.
Oh yeah.
Hurry up. No refund.
Oh, I
that
spent my
actually-
meter.
Dang.
It's alright, you weren't getting that round, but now I got no meter.
Oh right, I forgot.
Take that for time.
Oh my god.
At least no more kick factor.
Yeah, true.
Round 3 dive kick.
Ooh, nice, nice.
Round 4 dive kick. Round 5 dive kick. Disqualified.
Nice, nice. I should have just used my ground special. I should not have jumped.
Round 6 dive kick.
Well played.
Nice.
Okay. I should use
Round
my My air special limit
Jefailey wins.
Maybe I should have changed my GGPO. I did not see you come in there.
Oh, really?
It's okay.
Oh,
We'll let it run. It's not too bad.
Yes, from above.
1-0 for you.
Round 1. Divekick.
Great job on the understanding.
Round 2.
Understand that you have to stand. It's awesome.
The ultimate Divekick tech, not moving.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
The understand is very much you need to know. Oh, I went too low. Oh, this is bad. You're about to get kicked back there too.
4. Divekick.
Alright, get my shoulders up. Protect my head.
Smart.
Divekick.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Alright, let's see if I can tie this up.
6. Divekick. Double kill. Round 7. Divekick.
Oh, what?
I did not see that coming. That must have been
That hitbox. Alright. Well done.
some kind of lag thing, because that's usually a tie. 1-1.
Edge of the boot. Is it? Yeah? Okay.
I wouldn't even call that a tie. They Ober should have won that clash.
Oh, I guess on my screen it looked
Felt
different.
like it, but.
My screen it looked like we crossed feet together.
Oh, really?
On Ober's, it looks like Jefailey's loving legs were rested on Baz's.
Yeah, you might have been victim to the rollback.
KO. Round 2. Divekick. Disqualified.
Just use it. I don't know why I just won't spend my meter.
Gotta have that coasted meter.
I'm just like scared to like be meterless, so. Alright, I gotta take it. It's not a headshot.
Round 4. Divekick.
I don't know how much pass you've actually played.
Yes. Just enough delay. I was looking for that kick factor activation.
Round 5. Divekick. Double
Oh,
kill.
nice.
Round 6. Divekick.
Drew.
Ooh, no headshot. It's good for you.
Speed.
Round
Hits you so hard all of a sudden.
Oh no!
Alright.
Not early enough. Just trying to get that lightning for you.
Round
Yeah, that would have definitely won it around there.
Oh,
double kill.
I gambled. I gambled.
Perfecto.
I thought the head was big enough.
Round Divekick. Disqualified.
No.
Ooh, gave me a window.
Round 10. Divekick.
Look, before I go, check out my merch.
Man, that was a funky round. That's
Yeah,
I want to say 1-1.
1-2.
Oh, 1-2.
1-1.
1-2. Okay.
Whoa.
I thought it was tied up. Over? Are you miscounting? Me and Lai think it's tied up.
Wait, really?
I don't
Oh.
think
No, it could be.
it just might have been a really long round.
Yeah, it's true. It was, to be fair.
Optimus, let me know if you have the count. Nope, guess not. Okay, we'll just go with 1-1.
Yeah, if Lai says it's 1-1, I'll trust the spectator.
All I really gotta write this down.
Yes.
Round 1 dive kick.
Oh, darn. I gotta remember how to do the turnaround fast. I need to get a little bit past.
Dive kick.
Well done.
Thank you, thank you. Sometimes it might not be fast enough
Round
though.
3
It's got a significant amount of startup on it.
Nice. Get way too impatient in those moments.
dive kick.
Oh no.
No!
Ooh!
Whoa, well played. Okay, I did not see that coming at all.
Round
Thanks.
5
I should have, but I didn't.
Oh.
Casually swinging by each other, no problem. Damn, alright.
Round 6
A DP right in front of me?
DP, that was a very slow DP.
EP minus the invuln.
Nice, okay.
Basil wins.
Alright, two matches now. 2-1.
Want to finish our Jefailey mirror?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes, from above. Round 1 dive kick.
Oh. Damn it! Oh, too early. I think you have me either way. I have to go for that tag.
Round
Cannot
2
steal life from that. Look like a tie on my screen.
Yeah. This time it looked like we were both just like inside.
Oh no! It's all bad. About to get kick factor too.
Round 4 dive kick.
Alright, no headshot. No headshot.
Damn. I really thought it was
Still
gonna
gotta deal
be
with kick factor though.
Warning.
Yep.
Fraud detection. Warning.
Round 5 dive kick.
Ooh. Okay. See if I can turn this
Gambling
around.
man.
Averted.
Oh, this is gonna be rough.
6 dive kick.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm still in it.
Thought you were gonna back up. I went to a post.
7 dive kick.
Oh.
That was insanely close. Oh, nice. Okay, okay.
Round 8 dive kick.
Well played, okay.
Thanks.
You were definitely getting me with that ground special.
Round 9
It's a lot of
dive
meter
kick.
Oh,
This time I managed to close it out.
nice. Alright, tied up. Hype match coming up.
Good luck.
Good luck.
From above. Round 1 dive kick.
Oh no.
Hold reception.
Gotta get her those cancels, or else I'll slip forward too close.
Oh god.
I think I already canceled. Not high enough.
You wanna touch my feet?
I try to reach out and get that rope around it. Oh no. Great DQ.
Thanks.
Round 4. Dive kick.
Alright, survived.
I didn't let go. I let go too early. Nice, okay. So my approach.
This is my way back in, hopefully.
Round 5. Dive kick.
Ah! I was
Perfect
getting ready for
dodge.
the headshot. It's okay. Oh, that did not turn around
Once
how
I
I
was
wanted
patient.
it to.
Round 6. Dive kick.
Again, too close. Nice.
Second chance for the comeback. Let's see what
Round
happens.
7. Dive kick. Double
Nice,
kill.
okay. Quick cancel.
Thanks.
Round 8. Dive kick.
Nice, okay.
Throwing out the mix-ups.
Uh-huh.
Round 9. Dive kick.
Oh no! Oh no!
Damn!
The input problems.
Oh my god, I got so lucky.
That was a very good match. Oh,
My
man.
life flashed before my eyes, literally.
Lai,
I saw the lighting. I thought, oh my god, is it over?
I totally whiffed my my attack. So what happened was I was on the approach. I was trying to build up a little meter, get a little closer, and then I accidentally did the air special. And then I tried to like panic out of it, and that did not work well.
God.
Congrats over. That
GG's
was
though.
awesome game. Lai,
How
are
much
you gonna...
have you played Baz before?
How much have I played Baz before?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can answer that question, but I played him. I mean, I played all of the cast a lot, so I'm just gonna say a lot. But
Okay, fair enough.
very, very long time ago.
Yeah, okay.
Go ahead, Lai. Go ahead and jump in. I'll also gonna grab some beverages. I'll be back.
Alright.
You guys are on stream though, so.
Select your character.
We'll behave.
Let's finish what I unintentionally started. Actually, no, I intentionally started it.
Yeah. I was
didn't
really
expect
surprised
it to
about
work.
that.
Your gem.
I'm still wondering if, well, obviously kick.
For me, I pick Kick Gem because that's just my preference.
Fair.
Select your duds.
My color! How dare you. Just kidding, I like blue more. It was a bait all along. It's got the worst color.
Death from above. Round 1. Dive kick.
Oh, my favorite matchup. Oh, how do I keep managing to cancel my charge?
Round.
Intentionally
situation.
canceling it like I did.
This kept happening to me so many times in our games.
Round 3. Dive kick.
The official Jefailey mating ritual.
Double kill.
Okay.
Okay, that time I didn't intend to cancel my charge.
Round 4. Dive
So we're even on the failed
Hey, Blab,
cancels
these are
now.
my duds too, okay?
Round 5. Dive kick.
Oh, that was so close.
The misjudgment.
Round 6. Dive kick.
Oh, we keep going back and forth.
Alright.
It seems like being in a dizzy state does not put you in a disadvantage in this situation, huh? Alright, never mind.
Perfecto. Round 8. Dive kick.
I see what I'm trying to do. Oh,
I
fuck.
have no clue what you're talking about.
Round 9. Dive kick.
Oh, how the turns have tabled. Oh my god, that was
You.
so close.
I had you.
Wins.
You had what?
Wait, wait, wait,
That I
wait.
missed.
Did you just say
Really?
how the turns have tables?
Yes.
That's, it just registered in my head. Like that was not. That was the reverse.
From above.
Because we kept going back and forth on who's concussed and who's not.
Lie to me. I know you're concentrating on the match, but could you tell me your reasoning behind the kick gem in this matchup?
Because that's what I'm used to, and if I pick dive gem, I fear that I'm just gonna lose my mind.
Okay. Okay. So I played this matchup with OberKy a lot, and H does a bit, and we found that kick gem is definitely like the riskier. The riskier. You start off with height disadvantage, but you have a larger threat, and then when you get one head, then you're obviously a lot better because not only can you jump higher, but you can also kick farther. And so it's that that risk of like, do I think I can get that first round to get ahead? But the dive gem is I think the normal pick with the both of them are viable, but I think dive gem is the standard.
Round 6.
It probably is the better pick, but the issue is I'm just so used to kick gem movement.
So it's because of the stare down into both of you guys jump and try to kick. The person who jumps higher is gonna win. But that's not to say that all the matches always go up like that. But when it does, you want to have that extra height.
God, do I get 3-0'd?
No, coming back. You're coming back. Oh, never mind. I gotta get you to believe before it can happen. So tried my best.
Salty run back?
Oh no, I think Optimus has his quarter on next. So.
No,
Optimus?
that's only game 2.
Oh, that's only game 2.
Yeah,
I thought that was
game
3.
two.
My bad, my bad.
Round 1.
The way you were talking about it, it sounded like it was though.
Yeah, I was like, you said you're about to get 3-0'd. I was like, oh.
How fast do you think these matches go?
I went to go get water. I came back. You said you're about to get 3-0'd. I was obviously not watching earlier.
I'll take that.
That was kind of
I'll take that.
Round 2.
This is the stage.
Round 3.
Don't play it again.
Round 4.
Round 4, the first point is finally on the on the board.
Round 5.
Disqualified!
No way.
The lower heads very, very well, but I actually don't know how to play as the higher heads.
Disqualified! Disqualified!
Double disqualify for extra,
That was not
for
a
extra
hit.
trickiness.
Gotta get that airtime.
Nice.
So these colors are so close. I have to like look at their pants to figure out who's who. I am colorblind though, so I can't tell
Look at the
between the
bigger
shirts. The shirts look almost the same to me. I have to tell by the pants.
Disqualified! Disqualified!
Oh no!
Oh my god.
Detection averted.
Round 8. Dive kick. Double kick.
Okay.
Is this how it's gonna end?
Round 9.
Not like this. Not like this. Oh,
Oh, that was a nice one.
that was a very good approach.
Round 10. Dive kick.
Oh!
I got greedy. Alright.
Oh.
I should do that first jump too. I should have just jumped back. Well done. I'm not doing this because I want to keep the Jefailey mirror match going, by the way.
From above.
Just clarifying that.
Round 1. Dive kick.
We keep starting our rounds like this. It's
How's
just
it really
frames
work?
off.
Like, you're so aggro, these low head.
Well, no. So you could theoretically you could
all
just
okay.
charge and force
True.
and like capture, because you have the height advantage, so you both jump,
Yeah,
you'll be
true.
better. But you also aren't building meters, so that's up to you. It's a decision.
Divekick.
I thought I got a kick there still.
Round 4. Divekick.
Uh-oh. Not looking good.
And I move. How can you hit that tiny head?
Warning. Fraud
Oh.
detection. Warning.
It's like
Round 5. Divekick.
I think the Hagar.
No!
Oh, the
I hit you in
Hagar
the ear
drop
and
kick.
uppercut.
you should have just done a blind jump kick.
Divekick.
God no.
This is where
This
you
is
want
my
that height.
favorite part.
Yeah, this is where you want that height.
Hurry up. Henderson.
I didn't think you'd actually do it. Okay.
Wins.
He was at full charge, right? That pulse? It sounded like full charge.
Yeah, we were both at full
Yeah.
charge, I think.
Pretty sure, yeah.
I mean, we were just sitting there long enough that I think it was full charge.
I think it's tied up now, right?
Round
Yep.
Yep.
1.
2-2.
High match, high match.
Henderson.
Nice. Okay.
Round 2. Divekick. Round 3. Divekick.
Almost had that punish. Oh, good. Good defense, good defense.
Round 4. Divekick. Henderson.
Oh no.
Okay.
Round 5. Divekick.
Oh my god, you slippery bastard.
Oh my god. Nice.
Lie to me, I totally thought you had it and then he just slipped away.
Divekick.
Okay.
Round 7. Divekick. Hurry up. Henderson.
Yeah. That was a bad decision. Nice.
Round 8. Divekick.
No!
Henderson.
I said, why? I let go! Why did I let go? Oh,
Round 9. Divekick.
Oh,
Nice.
Round
over, I think
So
just a little bit longer. Oh god.
Round
Fuck's sake.
11. Divekick. Henderson.
Nope.
Oh no.
Damn, last round, last game.
Round 12.
Yeah, both big heads.
Oh. Oh god, I'm dead.
Oh!
Wins.
I was bad.
Oh, what happened? I lagged. Ah, what? No way. What? Oh my
Oh.
god. GG's. Damn, I
Oh,
really
man.
thought I let go of that button.
Are you still hanging around, Lai? If you're gonna play Optimus, let me know so I can watch yours or Optimus's.
I'm gonna finish eating.
Sorry, what was that?
Good games over. Good games.
You're good, indeed. Thank you for the Jefailey mirror match.
Yeah.
Are you?
It's
still
always a
gonna
lot of fun. I'm
Are you
probably
s-
done
are-
for the day too.
Lai,
Yeah,
are
see you
you
guys.
done? Oh yeah, you're done
Yeah.
too. Okay, cool. I might stick
See you
around
guys.
for a couple more games though. Optimus, you still there? I don't know if you're there still. Oh, maybe he's not. Ober, do you want to jump in then?
Yeah, sure.
All right, I'll jump in with you. you have a what do you call it? A character request.
Joel's.
Shoals, okay.
I really need to practice against that character. Clearly.
Sure thing. I'll try to explain my approaches as well.
Right.
I know I'm in the mind of Capconian, but you can at least hear my thoughts while I
Yeah.
approach you.
Or did you still want to change to GGPO?
I did actually. I did it while we were talking.
Okay.
Did you need to change yours?
No.
Okay, I need to move over. Sorry, sometimes I'm clicking on the video that that I'm sharing versus the actual game.
Yeah, I think I'll do this set, and then I'll be heading off as well.
Okay, sounds good. Do I do kick or do I do dive? You know what? Let's do kick. Let's be more aggressive. So you definitely, I think with dive gem you can't punish the no meter shoals as well, but it's still possible. Oh, the rain. Alright, gonna look for a kick a meter here. Got my kick a meter. Alright, now I'm activated.
I could have definitely punished that.
Alright, I have to decide if I'm gonna go high or low. Let's go high first. Alright. Oh no.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to be safe
I
there,
feel like
but you got kick factor and I got cornered, so that was nice.
Oh,
I backed
too
up
close,
twice,
man.
figured you're gonna come in. I sent my kick just in case you do, because kick factor's scary.
Smart.
Alright, just did a low approach. Hopefully you would stay still and I'd headshot, but you jumped back and avoided it. Can I go high? Add a meter. Need to get some meter. Got some. Alright, you passed me. Oh, I should have just let that go.
Okay.
Would have had you.
Yeah, true.
Alright, you're about to get kick factor again, which is gonna suck. Ooh.
Damn, nice.
I wasn't sure what to do, so I figured a
Sounds
mid kick might get me out. You might go too high, and I can get out underneath.
Nice, okay.
You got kind of close, so I just did a low kick. Should cover both your options.
Oh, I jumped in.
Yeah, I did a mid kick thinking if you go under, I could try to turn it around. You ended
I'm
up
trying to
jumping
go
into me.
meter damage. Stealing a man's duds is low. I agree, Blab. I agree.
I think that's been up there for
That was
us when you guys were doing the.
Yeah, I just noticed it.
Yeah.
The chat on my phone was lagging behind, it seems.
No worries. That was during the Jefailey mirror. Laitome responded to it though, so you're good. Alright, I got my kick a meter.
Okay.
Ooh. Ooh, almost got
Okay.
the corner kill. Good escape.
Damn, you went for it. Okay. I really thought you were going to float.
Yeah, if I see you jump and I know where you're gonna land like that, I'll just try to go for it. If you like use velocity or something, I always try to pause and get out of it. It's not safe, but it's something. That was just a high approach and to see what you're gonna do and then do the kick. That kick factor is very timely. I would have went past you without it. Oh no, bad approach on my side. Nice punish. I want to do two moves. The second move is a little big. Alright, gotta find one kick a meter. Alright, got it. Just hovering. Oh, missed. Oh my god.
No way. Oh, no, that actually. Yep.
The hitbox, sorry man. Like with her toes sticking up, there's no overlapping hurt box, so you want to hit her in the shins to get the tie. When you hit her in the toe, you tend to lose it if it sneaks into your hurt box. 1-2 or 1-1.
I thought.
All right, 1-1.
Wait,
I don't
wait,
remember.
I thought that was the first.
You won the first game for sure. I lost the first game. Oh,
Oh,
nice, nice. We'll say 1-1.
I'm so bad at keeping track of this.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Whoa, wait, you passed each other? No way. That was nice. I should have velocity out of that.
Oh yeah, you definitely could have.
I'll take the knees.
Not able to chain the headshots, but
Oh, you did have enough meter. Wow.
1 kick of meter is all that's needed.
Right,
I do a
yeah.
little plink, and it'll give me the second, like the 2 kicks that come after. You can plink into to get a faster one.
I see.
Oh, nice,
my
nice
God,
defense,
okay.
nice defense.
That was so fucking close.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go over me. Because if I back up, you're gonna kick that corner too. So. Nice, great approach, great patience. Oh yes.
Oh, no way.
Get out of there. Oh.
Nice. Okay.
All right, let's see if I can finish this. Probably gonna go a high entry, make it safe. Oh.
Oh my god, that was so close.
Yeah. I have to know those distances because I wasn't able to hit you there. I should back up a little bit more. All right, we're gonna say it's 1-2 for you.
Right. Nope.
Oh. I didn't have any meter. I have to figure out where to get it, but I'll take the kill too. Now I'm active. I'm online. You definitely don't want to jump into that corner.
Nope. Do that way too often.
Oh, a little short. Oh, I should have just let it go. I think I would have got you.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, darn!
Oh.
Too late. I was supposed to cancel midway through.
Nope.
I thought you were gonna try to sneak under, so I wanted to get a low kick in there. It's a lot riskier though, because you can still get above me. Yeah.
Nope. Oh, I moved too early.
Yeah, the kick factor helped me a lot there. Oh!
Oh my god,
Great
what?
high punish.
On my screen, it looked like you hit me for a moment.
Good job not getting in the corner. Ooh.
No way. Oh, nice.
Is that tied up?
Waited.
2-2?
I think so, yeah.
It's a good match, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely avoid backing up to that corner, and you'll... Because that's an easy headshot for Shoals.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to watch myself in that corner if I get stuck.
I feel like I should go for kick gem if I go for these chase downs, but...
It's a viable choice. Oh. Oh no.
Well, dive them. I can do things like this.
Yes.
Ugh.
Dive gem in general forces me to jump higher when approach because it's just not safe if I don't. Whew.
Oh my god. Okay.
The
I really thought I could
concussion,
escape that fast enough.
the concussion giving up gave me that extra speed.
Oh, it was exactly at that moment. Fair enough.
I think you had me.
It looked like we crossed again, but
Ah,
I think my foot was just underneath you in that situation. Nice.
I think that corner follow was the if you were able to not get into that corner, I think it would have been fine.
Fair, yeah.
Good set, good set.
Yeah. GG's.
GG's.
Thank you for having me again.
Oh no, thanks for all your assistance, man. You've been lovely and helpful. Both combinations I like.
I try my best. Alright. I'm gonna head off for now then.
All right, take care. Optimus, if you're still around, we'll
You
do
too.
one more game. If not, I'll close the stream.
Alright. Bye bye, everyone.
Take care, over. All right, sounds like you might be AFK. So we'll end it there. Hopefully, you guys can tune in next time. Take care.